There we go. So, last session, our group of adventurers, Ignium Cete, having reached the devilish city of Cardenac within the 7th level of the 9 Hells, Maladomini, continued their way through, meeting up with a tiefling gentleman by the name of Demetrius, who approached them as they sat having a meal in the Hound's Den pub inn. He approached them regarding a potential deal, a conversation that he wanted to have, but away from prying eyes, and invited you to meet with him at the Luminous Pools bathhouse on the eastern side of the city, after you'd had your rest and your fill. As you decided to take up on this meeting, going down towards the Luminous Pools, and having a meeting in one of the private spa rooms with the lovely bubbling blood pools. Having a conversation with Demetrius, he advised you that he does indeed work for the Collector, the person that you were advised to come and meet with. And you agreed to meet and discuss some kind of a deal. He gave you a coin and a passphrase that would allow you to access into the inner sanctum of the city. As you went through, you passed the strange ziggurat-like altar where some kind of public execution was taking place, but paying no mind and kept going until you reached the Collector's house, where you interacted with this strange reptilian devil-like creature who gave you a mission. The mission was to go to the mansion, the estate of High Devil Aramis, and steal something from a vault located within a labyrinth underneath his estate. A large, silvery jewel-like item. He gave you a replica of it, so you'd know what it looked like, but B, and also to swap it out. With that, he also mentioned that. Sorry, you see, I'm not doing well tonight already. In response, he would give you the powers to get yourselves home or send you home. The end result being you leave, and you manage to return to the material plane. It did not tell you how this would be done, only that he would grant you the power to do so. Afterwards, he left. You spoke a bit more with Demetrius, who offered you a deal. He offered you the ability to speak, read, write, understand the language of Infernal in return for the ring of non-detection that you picked up from Zarabok a few days prior. And that's pretty much where we left off. You were informed that the High Devil Aramis would be vacating his estate in about 12 hours' time to go and watch a gladiatorial match or some kind of event over at the Pit of Sacrifice on the western side of the city, a bit further north of the bazaar where you visited the day before. Days, nights don't really have too much meaning. So you have 12 hours to do your scouting, to come up with a plan to get to Aramis's estate, to steal the gem of power in his vault, and return back to the Collector in order to receive your boon. Demetrius has disappeared into a back room to go and draw up a contract for you, and you are currently awaiting his return. So, that is where we will bring back in. Hopefully Tom will be with us momentarily, but we'll carry on regardless. So, as you stand in the very bare, very, very basic area that is the Collector's house, there is no decoration here, there is no furniture, there is no fireplace. Simply the entry door and the exit door to the back of the back, I'm going to call it. What do you want to do? And if you want to just wait, it's a bit loud. Sorry. If you just want to wait for Demetrius to return, you can just say, "I want to wait for Demetrius to return," and you can leave. It's up to you guys.
Should we Should we take him up on his other offer about the collars?
That's right, just to recap as well for everybody, Demetrius did offer to fit you with slave collars. Only ornamental, of course. Well, no, he said they'd be fully active. He said they'd be fully active. Slave collars to help you
the
fit
seamings?
Sorry?
Might be a good idea if we want to save on the seaming.
Yeah, I would have Gaius available.
You already have cast seaming today, haven't you?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
How many 5th level slots do you have?
2.
You do have 2. Okay. So you've cast one of them. You still have seaming up. You still all look like tieflings at this point.
Uh-huh. But if we wanted to look like something else, you'd have to drop it and then recast it.
Exactly.
Right. So, I mean, they might resist, but I still think it would be worth a shot getting one of them under heal.
So even if we get one of them, they can convince the rest of us that we're fine. Right?
Yeah, this is all depending on what we encounter there. But
we can get somebody high enough in the.
Even if it's just, it's another spell I can
option.
cast. I could even, while we escape, make us look different, and then we are fine or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
Then only 1 or 2 of us need to change into a different form. So,
speaking of getting out, I know our usual, modus operandi of escaping is me casting a teleportation circle. Did you get up one of those here?
I don't think we've seen one. Maybe.
We haven't seen
Jimmy
one, but
knows.
it wouldn't hurt to ask.
Yeah,
Right?
that's true. Yes.
If we need a quick escape, and the best way to do that would be just bam,
It takes
back
a
over
minute
here.
though, right?
Yeah, it does take a little bit.
Okay, I think at the very worst we could dimension door out.
But if we
depending on
have
how
to,
deep-
Royce and I could hold something off for a minute.
Mhm.
I mean, we might not. The 3 of us might
Yeah.
not come out very well. But we could hold it off from.
We've done. I've done the defensive casting thing before, so it's
I mean, we can also, if it's necessary, use dimension door to get out.
yeah. But you can only take a certain number of people with you, right?
1, yes.
Yeah.
But we have Rory with our new cool cape who can do it.
Uh-huh.
I can do it thrice if I don't use any other spell of that power.
Uh-huh.
So I could go out with someone, back in, and out with someone else again.
Yeah.
So that would get 6 people, and we're 6 people. No, we're 7.
Fair.
Are we 6 or
it's all
7
six.
people?
There's 6
6.
of you.
6, yeah.
Oh, that's Din.
Yeah.
Counted him twice. Okay. So that would work.
Well, to be fair, that makes sense.
So that would be an option.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how are we gonna disguise ourselves without the seeming? So we have the hat of disguise, but
Mm-hmm.
since 2 of us are gonna be able to speak Infernal, I think it makes sense to have 2 people disguised, since no one's gonna talk to a slave.
Yeah. Do you have a lower level illusion magic?
I do,
Does anyone?
but that doesn't hold up for the same amount of time as disguise self does.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't have anything illusion based.
Giovanni, do you have any illusions available?
I'm not prepared for the day, no.
Mhm.
Invisibility.
But do we have time
Greater
to
invisibility.
sleep?
What about your weird
We
tone?
don't have time. We need to get back as soon as possible.
Like,
Unfortunately,
it's 12 hours, right?
you got 12 hours, but you only got up about 4 hours ago.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay.
I mean, if you pushed it, you might be able to. But it would be like if you slept at the gate type thing, or you took a shorter. I would allow something along the lines of taking a shorter long rest to fit it in the time, but you'd have to roll for exhaustion.
Okay.
It's kind of a bit of a trade-off. So you'd have a chance.
Taking
of
a nap in the middle of the day.
It's kind of like you're taking the nap and you'll fuck up your sleeping patterns.
You can wake up groggy. Yeah.
Um, but
What
you
year
might
is
be
it?
able to. You might be able to recover some
Yeah.
resources. It's a risk.
I don't think we've really used anything except for his one seeming. I think it's just more about changing spells because we didn't know exactly what we were going into, which
I feel we
isn't
might
something you
have
have to
to
worry
make
about
this
anyway.
work.
I have a potion of alter self.
How much can you alter?
An alter self spell, you can make minor modifications, so you can grow gills, you can grow horns, you can change your skin color.
I mean, I already look like sort of the dragon guy we ran into earlier. Could I feasibly make myself look like one of them with an alter self?
Potentially, yes.
Yeah.
It has
Windless
its
spell, right?
limited powers, but it's a level 2 spell, I think. So you can do a little bit with it.
Yeah, so if one person used that, someone else used a hat to make themselves look all fancy. And then you wouldn't need to use a seeming spell, the rest of us could be slaves.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, the rest of us probably shouldn't talk to other people anyway, so that works out.
Yeah.
yeah.
Huh.
Just looking at Rory's spell list to see if there's anything helpful. No. He's got
No.
he's got Misty Step.
That's useful. That'll give him 30 feet.
Yep. I mean, 30 feet, mate.
Yeah.
As you're having this conversation, the
30
door.
feet straight up.
Yeah. Poof. The door, the larger door at the back of the room opens just a crack, just enough as you watch Demetrius in his formal robes slips back out with a smile, holding a rolled up piece of paper in one hand. Hello, friends. Hello. Sorry about the wait. It took me a while to write up the contract. I'd run out of templates. And he walks over. Here you go, and he hands it to you, Ramos.
Oh,
Read over it
thanks.
very carefully.
Read that small detail, yeah.
Yeah. You get your spyglass out. Use it as a magnifying glass.
There's your contract.
Yeah, spyglass.
So, yeah, there you go. So, Ranos, you have the contract. Feel free to read. Formatting goes a little bit fucked somewhere, but yeah, the formatting on the site on the signature areas there is
Right.
got a bit dodgy, but.
Are you showing this to everyone?
Everyone can see it, yeah.
Okay.
I've thought it easier that way, but
Yeah.
you have the contract. You can kind of see in some of the underlined areas where details have been written in.
Like a fill in the blank kind of thing.
Basically, yeah. There's one or two
that should be
typos
it.
in there that I've noticed already,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, that should be an I.
you get the general idea.
Is this how they spell down here?
Apparently.
Yeah, it's like it's his attempt to write
It's
in
the-
common.
It's the translation. Yeah, I was about to say it's
Yeah.
the translation between infernal and common. Yeah.
That's it. Did I put infernal? Yeah. Make sure I wrote infernal, not abyssal, because that
Yeah,
really would
that's
help you
there.
out.
You're good. No. Or
I think
Yeah,
we're distracting
infernal and
Adrian from trying to read because he's taking.
oh, he took his earbuds out. I think.
Yeah.
If I use all my gems and gold and diamonds, I have 8,000.
So the penalty. Actually, no, I'm just gonna.
No, we don't pay 10 grand. We get 10 grand
No.
if he breaches the contract.
Uh-huh.
He gets our soul forever.
Yeah, he gets our
we
souls
breach it.
forever. Yeah.
But only 2 of us by the looks of it, because the recipients are only 2 people.
Oh no, it's this
Yeah,
Ignium Cete.
The two,
No, the recipients blank and blank. So only 2 of us have to agree to this.
yeah, the ones
That's fair.
learning Inferno.
Yeah. Okay.
As you can see, you reading over them.
I mean, we've already given him the ring, so
He does
Or
say
no,
to you,
he's back.
I can make amendments to the contract if you require. I can extend the duration. I could even, if you really wanted it, I could extend this ability to continue when you leave our plane, but that will require more recompense. He looks over at Zen and
I feel
gives
like
you
it
a
won't
wink.
be as useful.
Our eternal souls are not enough.
feel like it won't be useful.
That's
Well,
only
that's
if
if
we
we
breach
break
the
it.
contract.
If you
Yeah,
were
it's
to
a
breach the
break it.
contract and not give the ring, or try and steal it back, or it was a phony.
You've already identified it's not a phony, though.
I have. But one can never be too careful. But as I said, if you're looking for more, I can grant more.
I think it'll only be useful here, yeah.
That is up to you. I can grant more of you the ability, I can grant less of you. I'm flexible.
Sin's not going to say anything.
Every now and again he just keeps
Stood there
looking.
really blank.
He keeps looking over at Sin.
Sin doesn't even have an expression on his face. He's just there blank, like statuesque.
And we also look like tieflings, too, so this is hilarious.
So,
No eyeballs are moving. It's just
unless we try to mess with the ring, or we don't have 10,000 gold pieces on hand as we break our contract.
No,
No, 10,000
sir.
gold is for us.
If I fail to uphold my end of the bargain, I pay a penalty
So, like,
fee.
if
you fail to
the Infernal
uphold
isn't right,
your end of the bargain, then I get your souls.
could someone
like
else
it wears out
sign
before
on
we
other
leave.
person's behalves?
I'm not trying to catch you out here. This is
No,
quite a good.
no,
This is
it's-
quite a good trinket, and it would greatly help me in my day-to-day workings.
I think the contract is fine, but I would rather not the recipients be the ones to sign their souls away if something did happen.
If you wish it, I
Like you
can
said-
amend the contract.
we're not going to steal the ring back. That's the only collateral we have against this thing. The ring is
right.
fine. That guy hid for years in that cave with that ring. It's not gonna go. It's not going anywhere.
So,
I'm fine with this if Renos is.
do we have a deal?
I'm not fine with you guys signing your souls away for anything, even if it's we're not. gonna
Whatever
do
gets us
anything.
home faster. I need to get home.
I know,
You know this.
I know. But you guys are also my first priority.
I really must look into what you keep mentioning. Obviously, something interesting is going on.
We don't want to. Let's go.
Yeah, I will have to read this 5 times to fully grok it right now. So I'll just say yes.
Effectively, most of the top bit, everything in the first 2 paragraphs is basically legal mumbo jumbo.
Legal mumbo. Yeah.
I got that
it's,
part, yeah.
it's the last bit of
Or rather,
what
it's got
he promises to you and what you promise to him. So he snaps his fingers and in a puff of flame and smoke, a quill appears in his
Oh,
in one
God.
hand. Hands
Little
it over.
Mermaid
Just-
style.
So, do we have a deal?
Oh God.
Ignium Cete.
We did until you said that. Just kidding.
About these slave collars you were mentioning.
Yes. As I said, you are welcome to use them. No deal. No contract required.
Can
Oh,
we take
lovely.
them off? Like, can we remove them as easily?
As I said before, you can attach and affix the collars for you. They will be fully functional. And you will have to return to us for them to be removed.
Let me. We're planning on coming back anyway.
You don't want
How-
to break the aesthetic.
Oh.
And you're going to have
How
to
are
come
we
back here
limited?
soon anyway to deliver the item you've agreed to relinquish.
So what exactly does fully functional entail?
Without going into too many of the details, if you
That's what we want. We want
If-
details.
Yeah, I actually want all of it.
if you disobey a direct order from the master of the collar, your head explodes.
Okay.
Activatable remotely, of course, and mostly of what you do will be viewable by the owner. Not that I'm planning to pry on you.
Okay. He'll be able to keep tabs on us then.
Of course, if
Some
you were to
weird goes
leave, for example, with
But
the
no, I'm
collar
just
still
saying if we
attached,
got like captured or something
then that
by
is
this guy we
entirely
would steal from.
That is entirely upon your head. We have no affiliation with you.
But if we have the collars on,
Then if you are captured
he
and
doesn't
under the
care.
pain of torture, your head probably will be detonated.
okay. Good
This
to know.
cannot be linked back to us. You understand?
I was just saying y'all would know and be able to come, help or something.
We
but,
would
you know,
be able
y'all probably don't do that.
to deal with the situation. Yes.
Well, if
Claim
we
some
had
kind
the
of ownership.
bauble, then maybe you would come and help. But unless that is not the case, I don't think we can expect much.
So many
Support.
maybes, so many variables. I merely offer this to you as a chance. Take it or leave it. It makes no odds to me.
I'm taking
If you
Yeah,
fail
I'll
in your
take
mission,
one
I
as
will
well.
I will merely find another willing group to accomplish it in your stead.
Totally
We are
just put that
willing,
dude's
we
full
just
name in
talk
the
a lot.
journal, by the way.
We've been waiting quite some time to get our hands upon this artifact. A few more years, it is nothing to us.
Speaking of which,
Yes.
speaking of returning,
Yes.
I have the ability to teleport between circles. Did you happen to have one of those here as a way to get us back here quickly?
I don't know. I will check with the master.
Thank you.
And he pops
Hopefully
away
not,
again.
because that's too goddamn convenient.
So
maybe we
unless
can find one
is it,
nearby.
now Dimi's gone, right?
Yeah, Demetrius pops out again.
Okay. So if we can illusion 2 people, I think it would be worth to get the collars.
Yeah.
But unless that is not an option, I don't think we need to really.
Well, like we were discussing before, I could do the alter self. You could illusion yourself with the
You
hat.
think that's gonna work
And then,
enough to fool these entities here?
Your eye's going to be the test, mate. If we're going to have a look around using that magic and they can see that, then they'll be able to see through our attunement, through our disguise.
but mine won't be an illusion. Mine will be like actual, physically altering myself, right?
Yeah, so the alter self spell does physically alter you. It's like it's less
Yeah.
powerful than the disguise self.
It's like
spell,
a
but it holds
polyjuice
up.
potion.
Yeah, effectively yes.
Similar. Yeah.
So it does
So if
hold
you
up to
can make
physical inspection.
yourself
and such.
look like
One of those.
You could make
Draenor
yourself look
should
like a Abishai.
Yeah. Is that what they're
Name.
called? That's cool. That's cool.
maybe with amputated wings, nubs, to sell it,
Maybe. Yeah.
if that's possible. And then
Give me some like cool looking scars or something.
Don't know, I got these scars.
You don't want to know how I got these scars. Scars.
if that's an option, if we can do that, then
Yeah.
I'd say I don't know really the extent of the spell, so
As you're having this conversation, Demetrius does return. He says, "Unfortunately, we do not have a teleportation circle in the stores."
Do you know of one nearby?
No, not
No?
outside of the Grand Citadel. That's
Okay.
the Alter Self spell.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's like if
Okay.
you can make yourself appear as if you're a member of another race, for example. So
Okay.
for someone who was not a Dragonborn, would probably struggle. However,
Mm-hmm.
you might be able to pull it off. It says natural weapons. You can grow claws, fangs, spines, horns, etc., etc.
Okay. But I can't do both.
It doesn't. It's a second level spell with a concentration for an hour. I will allow you to do a variation of trying to make yourself look like Dranosh to a degree.
Okay. So like different skin tones.
It's like, elongate the snout a little bit, get some more,
Yeah.
some nubs, a bit more glory, a bit more draconic.
would we know if we can pull off a chain devil with the disguise hat?
I think that was based on height.
Make me an intelligence check.
That was based on height.
Eh.
Yeah. So having a look at the chain devils, they are very humanoid in size and shape.
Yeah, that's
They
fair.
look like people that are just wrapped in chains that seem to move and slither as they walk. It would not be inconceivable for you to appear as of a chain devil.
I mean, if you wear loose clothing, or have the illusion of loose clothing, then you would also have to animate that, right?
To a degree. I mean, you could probably... It's hard to tell without actually doing it, but you get the idea that you could make a decent attempt to impersonate a chain devil. Though if you, for example, encountered another chain devil, that you may not hold up, but someone like a barbed devil or someone looking from a distance, you might. And that's as much as I can give you.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, then let's do it.
So, as Demetrius has kind of stood there patiently, the contract. The quill in hand once again, he just holds it out for anyone who wants it.
Yep.
It's very brave, Rory, that you're going to sign this contract. I mean, you did make the offer, so it's only fair.
I can't do Rory's accent, so I'm not going to try. Well, if you want me to, laddie, I will.
I think he would, but since he's not here,
He would. I don't think he'd be very useful at it either.
make decisions. Well,
I'm
he
not gonna
signs, we get the bonus. It's what he did, suggested last time, but I'll sign it.
Okay.
If no one
Feel
else.
free to, if you want to sign it now to get the power, and then you can have that conversation with Danny when he returns. I'm not signing away his soul while he's not here.
Yeah.
Not this
It's not
time.
his soul, it's his character soul.
I mean, true. Okay, so is it Nira and Ranos signing on the document?
Yep. With a flourish.
Okay, you put your
Like
name.
I've signed my name on like a bunch of papers.
So are you putting your name in both the,
Full name.
the recipient's bit and in both of the sections, the signage area and the recipient? Yes.
Wherever he tells me to sign.
Okay, that's fine.
Sign here.
So
Here.
you sign in both. You put
Signed by
your
the X's.
print name here, sign here. He's like, oh no, just
Initial.
there, just there. That's perfect.
Initials here, here, and here.
And here. And here.
As you sign on the contract,
This is just the ring, and he'll be
there's,
giving it to him.
there's no ink on the quill, but as it does, it kind of stretches like a red line onto the quill,
Oh.
and it kind of like it's more flamey than like bloody,
Okay.
flame coloured, and it etches and it burns itself into the parchment itself as you write.
That's neat.
And as it does so, as you both finish signing your names, a moment hangs in the air. A moment, you almost feel a sense of dread. Perfect. And he takes the scroll from you, rolls it up, and just,
Don't scare me like that.
and he just puts it. It just holds up and just blows on it. Just burns away into nothingness.
Oh, that's nifty.
Yeah. But you've got to send it to the archives, of course.
Of course.
Our
Now,
character, why did we both sign? It's insane.
Because we both need the power.
anyway,
We need the language.
Anyway, no, it's too late.
if
We
you'd
need
like
to be
to
able to
both,
bluff as best as possible.
if you'd like to both step forwards,
Yep.
he just looks at you. Yep.
Head high.
Places a finger on your forehead.
All
Mira.
6 foot something of me.
He reaches up because you're taller than he is. He's not huge.
Yeah.
He places
I'm not
his
scared-
finger
I'm
on
not
your
slouching
forehead, just kind of tiptoes a little bit. You're not making this easy, darling. And as soon as his finger touches your forehead, you feel your head burns with intense pain. You take no damage, but it hurts internally as you feel this rush of information, and you're pretty sure you could probably speak Infernal right now. Ranos, he moves over to you, just places his finger upon your forehead again. A very hot, intense pain shoots through your mind, only briefly, and as you kind of blink out a few times, you feel you know Kung Fu.
I know Kung Fu.
You've been matrixed.
So this is certainly weird, I say in Infernal.
And you obviously hear this, Nira, and understand it. The rest of you just hear Ranos saying, It's a bit of a kind of a very
Holy
coarse
fuck.
language. And Demetrius replies to you in Infernal. Ah, it appears to have worked. I'm glad your brain didn't melt. It would have been quite expensive.
Does that usually happen?
I've never tried it before.
Oh,
But you seem fine.
okay. Yeah.
He holds his
Ice
three.
cream's so unfair.
He holds his hand up. Like, he holds his hand and goes, "How many fingers am I holding up?"
3.
3.
Close enough.
Uh,
Well, you have your mission. If you need anything more from me, you'll just
Colours,
ask.
like we
You'll
discussed.
find me.
Yeah.
You'll find me around.
Colors, and if you happen to have some spare robes,
Oh, you would like some collars, would you? Excellent. How many would you like?
Yeah.
Oh,
4.
4. That makes sense.
Yes. We're putting
Wait,
everybody in.
Wait here.
Robes.
And he heads back into the back room, just cracking that door open a little bit. You still can't see anything through it. Like a portal of darkness. As he returns moments later with 4 thick black metal bands. They're quite sturdy. They're quite solid, and they don't look like the most comfortable things in the world. It says, "Those of you who wish to be enslaved, step forwards." And then looks at you, Zin.
can I quickly use the identification orb and just check them out?
Oh, but of course, and he just holds one out for you. He doesn't give it to you, he just holds it out for you.
An angle.
And it is pretty much as he says. It is a collar. It's basically a what's the word I'm looking for?
Collar of obedience.
Yeah, that's a good one. A collar of obedience, and it effectively allows the creator, the owner, to detonate it remotely at any time, should he wish it, and also gives minor scrying abilities upon the wearer.
Okay.
You
Interesting.
don't see how much, but you get to the idea that there is some kind of scrying magic on it. So, step right up. And
Are you sure you want to do this?
Chain me.
Oh. Okay.
he just kind of looks over at you and gives you a side glance. You're talking about the collars, right?
Yes.
He walks over and he kind of he just lifts your chin up a little bit with a long finger, a long nailed finger, and it just snaps it around, and you can feel it kind of hangs there for a moment before settling down on your shoulders. It's quite heavy. It's not very comfortable at all. It's cold and hot at the same time. It just kind of hangs there. You get the idea.
It's the bipolar color.
It's going to be a.
Do we have to do this
bitch
now?
wear. Well, I've already started now.
Well, yeah.
And he runs his finger along the seal where it binds it, and it kind of it almost welds into place. Don't worry, I can take it off later. Who's next?
I will.
Very well. And one by one, he collars Giovanni, Johanna, and Rory, and looks over at Zen. Come here, big boy.
Hang on. Who's going to be the collar's owner while we're doing this task for you?
It's still
You
the
can-
collector, I believe.
It's not. Unfortunately, it's not me.
Okay.
I only
fine.
work on my master's will. Though he does owe me a favour. He says as he around him. And he kind of holds it there and he welds it again and just kind of lingers there for a little bit longer than it did with everybody else and then walks back. Is there anything else that I could do for you, Ignium Cete?
Spare clothes?
Oh,
For
of
the
course, yes. And he
slaves?
reaches over and there's a small pile in the corner and he just chucks the robes at you.
Cool.
If you want, I can turn
Alright.
around, but I've seen most of it already.
What are the robes that the slaves wear normally?
They are very simple, like tattered white gowns that are dirty. They're mucky. A lot of them you notice have char marks all around the bottom.
Do you have any of the slave
Say again, Ranos?
garments? Do you have any slave garments?
Yeah,
That's what we just got.
He just
That's what we
chucks
just
you-
got.
Oh, I thought it was regular robes.
No, he's chucks you
No.
four pairs of slave robes.
Yeah.
Do any of them
about,
wear capes?
Slaves?
Cloaks? Yeah, do they wear cloaks?
Not that you know of.
Okay.
Yeah, what about our stuff? Can we have them under the thing?
You can
It's
certainly try.
illusioned with us anyway, so we, even if we're wearing it, doesn't it look like we're just not?
Is that a staff on your back? Or?
You just have the weird penis.
I mean, I assume I'm wearing all my gear, but it's kind of
If you are wearing your
under my
armor,
tiefling.
I mean, you're
spirit.
wearing because you've got quite a big breastplate on. As you put the robes over, you can definitely see like an outline underneath it.
I look like a very busty tiefling. That's what I've got to just stuff it a little bit.
Yes, that's
Maybe
right.
you should
You still
go
have
for a
seeming
lighter armor for
at the
this.
moment, but
That's what I'm saying. We've got seeming on it.
Why don't we put it in the bag of holding? No
Sure.
one else will be carrying it with them.
But what? Where?
Like armor and stuff. Why don't we put them in the
Yeah,
bag of
I
holding?
think we need to lighten our armors a bit.
I mean, I don't wear any armor, so I don't.
I did think I was paying for a show as well. You see, as Demetrius kind of leans
You
against the
haven't
wall.
paid anything.
I'd like to think that I've done you quite a favour. But fine, if you don't see it
Give
that
him
way.
a look.
Anyways, no one can see anything since we're all still under seeming.
Do you
Yeah.
say that out loud?
Well, he's
No, he,
obviously
He already
able
knows. He knows.
We all know that you can see through it.
to. He did allude
He's
to
already
it,
said
so.
that he knows. So it's fine.
Yeah, that's true. No, I mean, no one can see the show anything here. No one stripping sees anything because seeming is still on.
Oh, you guys
That's
won't
what I
see
meant.
it.
Yeah.
So you need to change into
I
lighter.
mean, you still
gear.
have stuff on under the armor, right?
That's
You don't want
true.
it to chafe anywhere or anything.
Got the padding.
Yeah.
I know, Jojo, but still, you need to. We have probably some leather armor that might be less conspicuous for you.
I could just be really fat underneath this.
It's not fat, dear.
I don't
You
think
can
I've ever
literally
seen a
see
fat
the ball on your
slave.
breastplate.
They generally get eaten.
You can literally see the breastplate.
Fine, I'm gonna
Word.
stop.
This thing.
Okay. Take
Just
up
super
the robe
thin.
and just start taking off my
No.
clothes.
Anything else?
I'll help. As much as I can through the illusion.
As you're doing so, Demetrius does hum a bit of a tune while you do it. And giggles to himself every now and again.
Da-da-da-da.
Pretty much. I couldn't think of it, so I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to stand in between Johanna and him while we're doing this.
Johanna has
It's
no
still
public
seeming on.
nudity
Can't
shame.
see anything.
Johanna doesn't care.
Yes,
Johanna's
he can.
As you're
Apparently,
doing
you
that,
can see through it.
he just kind of, as you're kind of shielding, he just
I'm
every now and again
staying between him.
he just leans over to the side.
I'm trying to like consciously stay between.
Anyway, Demi,
I'm just taking
don't
off
let
my
us
clothes. I'm
keep
like, I'll
you.
go shit.
I think we'll be fine on our own. We'll just knock if anything comes up.
Very
We have
well.
work to do.
I'm keeping
Yeah.
the gauntlets on though. You can't stop me.
Uh,
I just,
See ya, Demi.
See you later,
Might be a
Ignium
little
Cete.
ridiculous.
If you need us,
if I keep them
simply
under the robe and bundle them like that.
simply knock upon the collector's door, and I will come
you just put
running.
your arms in the room.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
behind
putting my
your
arms in the robe.
See ya.
like
Thank
behind
you
your
for
back.
your
Maybe.
help. So
Okay.
we need to
I
sell it. We need to
actually know
look
my
like
base
what we're
stats
trying to
about my
be.
stuff because I don't.
So
Yeah.
no armor, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
that's what
just
I'm
means pretty much only means Rory and you, Jojo, need to lighten your load.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I have to go find out what my stats are when I don't have stuff on.
you don't have all your magic.
I don't know. I made a list just in case. There we
I
are.
think without the gauntlets, if you put yourself at a I think like a 13 for strength.
Jeez Louise.
She's dex based, was not strength based. Rory, though, takes off his doffs his gear and puts it in the bag,
Okay.
including his gauntlets.
No, my base strength is 12 and my AC has gone from 21 to 12.
Yeah,
Ooh.
sounds about right.
Yeah,
Jeez
like,
Louise.
You
that's
might
what
be
I'm
able
saying.
to still wear something like leather armor.
Do we have that though?
I don't think you've got any in the bag.
Let me
Do we
see.
sell it all? Why do we sell all our stuff?
Skyrim syndrome.
Because we didn't
Yeah.
need it.
One of you's a gold hoarder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I do have this mithril shirt that would work under armor, under clothing.
Okay.
It doesn't
Mhm.
show.
That's also super light too.
Yes.
Give me something. Because my personality, I'm going to throw myself in between something at some point.
You will not be talking at all.
Yes, but I will throw my physical body between something if I have to.
That's fair.
Like that, I know who I am.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very fair. You tend to do that a lot.
Yeah. Hey, what,
All right. Okay, let's get.
So-
what's the
We can
mithril
use this
shirt?
room as a pretty much a base of operations for now. I think.
For right
Um,
now, yeah.
We do know where Aramis's house is.
He gave you rough directions to Aramus's house. It is much
Okay.
deeper into the inner sanctum. You're in the inner sanctum right now, and it's probably about half an hour's walk from here inwards.
Okay. So say we scout out while he's still there, maybe. And then go like half an hour after he leaves.
And for information, the Pit of Sacrifice is about 40 minutes walk away. It lives on the outer side. It is actually part of the outer sanctum, should you wish to go there.
Can you hear the lemur screaming in the background?
Yeah, that's my little one.
Oh.
Mithril
Sorry,
armor
my wife's there.
is a chain shirt. It was a mithril chain shirt, isn't it? Which
Something
is
like that.
chain shirt.
It's like, I think it's like leather armor, but you can wear it beneath regular clothing.
Chain
And it's
shirt
light.
it has a default AC of 13 plus up to 2 decks.
Yeah,
So-
that's why I'm at 15.
13 plus 2 decks is 15 plus my fighting style, so my AC would be 16.
That's right.
Okay.
Because I forgot that.
Not
I
bad.
mean, you can have it.
No, I need it. I'm going to be stupid about it.
I mean, you're complaining about having a 12 AC. That's basically what mine is anyway, so.
Well, actually, it's a 13 now.
Do we know that it's Xanthus who's responsible for the Prime stuff?
You guys don't.
We don't. Oh.
No, you don't.
Ah.
B team does,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but no one has
I don't
told you
know.
Xanthus
Did-
has returned. I don't think.
Oh.
I think Johanna told us.
May have done.
Johanna
I can't
Vala.
remember exactly, unfortunately.
Ah.
I think
We just know some bad shit's going down.
Yeah.
I think it was like Xanthus returned, and
maybe.
then we
I
told
think she may
Vala,
have-
and she was like, "I know."
Yeah.
that's it.
So Valen, she's like, I'm already there. It's like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
So you are aware. Sorry, correction.
We-
I'm really
We
bad
know
at
it's
this.
actually Xanthus.
You know. Well, you believe. Sorry.
Yeah,
Someone
to
someone
our
who
knowledge.
believes it to be Xanthus has told you such. You do not
Yeah, okay.
know, but if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Someone we
His
trust
biggest,
told
biggest
us it was
fan is in the
Xanthus.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we should ask Dimi if there's a place closer we can use. Since it's quite a walk. If we want to scout
Scout it out.
scout it out with the arcane eye, then that'll have to fly through half the city before we get to see it.
Half an hour's walk is half the city?
No, it's a half an hour walk from here to
Azaraz.
yes,
Uh-huh. But that's the place we were scouting.
yes. And I would like to get closer before we scout, so we have more time to scout. With the arcane eye, it only lasts for an hour.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Knock, knock, knock.
A few moments pass. Who is it?
question.
You hear from the other side of the
Your favorite band of thieves?
door. Demi, I'm going to call him Demi now. Demi pops his head out. Yes.
Do you have a property closer to our Mark's home for a base of operations?
Unfortunately not. This is as close as I can get you.
Okay.
There aren't
Alright.
many...
Do you know of any places maybe abandoned?
Very unlikely within the inner sanctum, dear.
That's fair.
We'll
And
just have to make do.
there are
Okay.
not exactly many taverns and inns around here. Those who
Yeah.
live within the inner sanctum live within the inner sanctum, if you know what I mean.
Right. Okay.
Ta-ta.
Ta-ta.
Just shuts again.
Would I know how long the altar self lasts?
It'll last about an hour.
About an hour. Okay.
Okay, let's save that for the approach.
Yeah.
Whew, this is hard. I will unattune from the mandolin and
Wow.
ask Zin for his cool hat.
What does
Which
it
doesn't
currently look
a
like?
hat, Paul. It looks like a hood. It
Oh.
lifts off like a hat.
Oh, by the way, Zim, are
Interesting.
you still wearing your cloak, or are you putting that away?
I don't know. If I wear my cloak underneath the gown, what does it look like?
Hard.
Noticeable.
How obvious is it?
Problem is because it's a cloak, as it ties around your neck, it kind of pops out the top a little bit. Like it's like wearing a polo shirt with a popped collar underneath a t-shirt.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay. No, I'll
to
put it
have
in
it
the bag.
attune.
You look slightly
Yeah.
suave, but quite noticeable.
Okay,
Put it in the
so
bag.
So put it in the bag.
let's do all the attuning, unattuning at close to the end,
Yeah,
close
probably.
to the time we need to leave. I will
what's
plop
your
down
plan?
on the ground.
Go for
But
it.
we don't have to unattune from the items just to leave them all away, don't we? We can just leave them.
Well, the hat you have to attune to.
I mean, if we put it in the bag, I think we will unattune.
If you
Right.
with it,
If you
want
reattune to
to,
something else,
if you want to
it'll
attune to something,
automatically drop the other one.
one thing drop. One thing you have to drop one thing before you can attune to a new thing.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
but my cloak, for example, I don't have to unattune from that to take it off.
No.
can
If you're
just take
away
it
from
off.
it, with attunement, if you forcibly take that item away from you for a extended period of time, it will unattune, because otherwise the items you have all picked up would probably still be attuned to whoever they were attuned to when they dropped them.
How long,
so
is how long is that time?
hard to tell, a couple of hours, maybe. But if you put them in the bag of holding, which is actually another dimensional space, you may break the attunement.
That's fair.
That's
Question.
what we have to do.
Sword that I'm not very good at putting down.
You can put it down
Oh.
now.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can. Cool.
Oh, okay. That's a new development. When did that happen?
You can put the
All
sword
right,
in the
all
bag
right.
if you want to.
Yeah, everything's going in the bag.
It goes in the bag.
Join
That's
with
interesting.
Modwin. Have fun.
I have
Um,
something called a fancy plate.
Rory puts Modwin in the bag. There's a lot of
Oh lord.
there's very like muted, almost gagged shouting and from the sheath as
It'll
the
just be
sword
for a little bit of
rattles as it drops
And
into
then we
the
can
bag.
go kill demons. I promise. Or devils.
It's not very happy. You can't understand what it's saying, but it's
Little bit
angry
of time.
and it's in the
Little bit of
bag.
time. Tiny bit of time.
Mind your words.
Just on attunement, by the way, bag of holding aside, I get what you're saying about that. But to end attunement, it's got to be more than 100 feet away for over 24 hours.
Yeah, but what are you saying for the bag? Putting it in a
That-
completely
that's what I
separate
mean.
dimension.
That's what I mean. It doesn't say how that would affect it, so I would take
Yeah.
whatever Nathan's ruling is on
Leave
that.
that up to interpretation.
So you could
probably.
wrap your cloak around your leg and tie it
I was
with
just
a string and
thinking.
then
I was
work.
just thinking. I might bundle it up and then wrap it around my waist or something. Because the robes, I'm assuming, are quite baggy.
Maybe not on you. I don't know.
Nathan, listening?
Sorry, what? I was
The-
replying to something different.
The slaves' robes are they quite baggy? Yeah.
They're quite, yeah. They're not like a onesie or anything.
One-
But,
One size fits all.
Yeah.
they are a one size fits all, effectively.
Okay, yeah. So
Okay.
if I like wrapped the cloak up and like wrapped it around my waist, sort of thing. Like, so I wasn't wearing it properly, but it was just there.
You could probably hide it
Just
under your robes like
Take
that.
the top
yes.
half off and tie it around your waist.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah.
Oh, that means you could theoretically, I could wear the cloak, but you be attuned to it, and unless we,
I
When
don't
we're
think
within
it
100
works
feet,
like that either.
then
If someone else
only
takes
because-
the item, they're
But they don't attune to it.
If someone takes that, if you do not have that item on your person for a period of time, then you will lose it.
yeah. Okay.
Uh,
Anyways,
Well, like I said, technically in the rules, it's more than 100 feet away for more than 24 hours.
yeah, we'll see what
Or
happens.
someone else attunes to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if someone kept it nearby, perhaps we'll just have to wait and see.
right.
Nah, I'll just wrap it around my
hang on
waist
to
or
it for you?
something like that. Like, I'll just
Oh,
hide
yeah.
it under my robes as best as I can.
I'll sit on the ground, cross-legged, say a few arcane words, and rub a bit of bat fur, and you see a new eye appear on my forehead, and then it fades,
Oh.
and I cast Arcane Eye.
Okay.
That's interesting.
I kind of like Tyrannos with 3 eyes.
So as this arcane eye, this kind of
Fits him quite well.
you see it, Ranos. No one else does. As you see this like faintly blue spectral eye hovering
Also,
in there.
our dimension door plan won't work anymore now.
Oh shit.
So
okay.
you have your arcane eye. What do you
Yep.
want
Bzz, off to the guy's place.
to do? Can it pass through?
Have a
Can it
teleportation
pass through
circle.
materials?
It can pass through 1 inch of space.
Okay.
So someone needs to open the door.
Someone
pretty
needs to open the door. Yeah. You kind of.
Can I do that?
You go to it. The door opens now.
much. I mean, I could do
Okay.
that myself, really.
You could do, yes,
mean,
but
you're already on the ground and
I mean,
concentrating.
you're concentrating. Someone else has got to do the hard work. So the arcane eye.
I just open it the tiniest little bit. Wait a couple seconds and then close it.
The eye flows out. Now you currently seeing through the eye, you can see the streets of the inner sanctum of Cardenac.
Alright, I want to go to follow the directions, keep close to the roofs. So, so not on eye level, pretty much. But not too high up.
Okay. Can you give me both a survival and a stealth check, please?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I'll give you advantage on the survival and advantage on the stealth. Because A, you know where you're going, and B,
Come on, buddy. It's invisible.
You're the
It's
size of an eyeball.
Yeah.
And it's
Super
1
tiny.
inch big, it's like...
it's quite small.
Tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then a survival check to find your way. 22.
Nice.
That'll do. So you kind of you coast up, and the buildings here there are of varying sizes. And as you coast up a little bit, you see very much unlike the outer sanctum, which was concentric circles of roads and like small buildings and dwellings and shops and inns and such. As you kind of coast up a little more, you can see that the inner sanctum is made up more of like clustered cul-de-sacs of large estates, mansion houses, manors, varying sizes. The further away you kind of look over towards the outer end of the outer sanctum, and they are there. They are grand, but they are small. And as you coast your sight towards the very centre of the city, the huge citadel tower in the middle, the buildings get larger and more impressive. Many of them have their own spires, though less impressive than the one in the centre, but they have larger spires, and they start to cluster together in places, and you can even see some of them have these interconnecting walkways at various levels that spiderweb them together. It's hard to tell if they're different estates at the moment from where you are, or if it's, for example, some of them are very large estates with multiple towers. But you're coasting through the cities, keeping to the rooftops. You eventually find yourselves at what you believe to be Aramas's estate.
Alright.
What you see is
Okay,
quite
yeah.
it's a large estate, and you've seen as you fly around, it's one of the larger ones.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it has a large perimeter wall surrounding the area. That stands about 6 to 8 feet high, about 1.5 meters to 2 meters, with rows of parapets and spikes around most of it. Every now and again, you see these strange, gloopy, humanoid-like creatures that have been impaled on these spikes. They don't seem to. They don't react when the eye approaches. They just kind of sit there and moan. So right now, you're a bit further away. You're a little bit high up, and you can kind of see this large wall. What do you want to do?
Okay, I want to still keep above eye level.
Yep.
I want to do once about around, see if there's like a servant's entrance.
Yep.
I would like to write this down. A general feeling, a general check on what. Guard rotations, maybe, if there's comings and goings, gaps in the coverage of the guards. See if there's slave pens anywhere, and maybe go inside to see where the slave pens are, / the dungeon entrance.
Okay. So as you do a loop around, this is actually quite large. It's quite large, and the perimeter wall has a circumference of about 500 to 600 feet. It is quite large, and the estate itself is several hundred feet square as well. But if you do a loop around, there is at one end, there is a primary large gate, about 15 foot across, with a large iron archway that curves across the top. You notice as you go into the perimeter, the wall is almost like an egg shape, almost. Without going above the wall, you can't get much more detail, but we'll get back to that. But as you do a perimeter, there is a primary...
sorry, I don't want to scout the outside of the fence, the wall.
Okay, sorry.
I meant the keep to the rim of the mansion.
I see. Okay, as you coast up, you can see you have this large, the large perimeter fence. It goes about 600 feet around. It's quite a large estate. The manor itself is about, it's hard to gauge, but about 200 to 300 feet square. And ahead of it, you've got the gate at one end, and then in between the gate and the actual manor itself, there is a long, quite elegant-looking garden. With shrubberies, there is greenery. A lot of it is kind of dark and blackened, but there is shrubbery here. There are the odd waterworks and fountains and small pathways that go around it. The fountains, obviously, are of some strange crimson liquid. There's no water, but it's actually, as you looked at it, it's quite aesthetically pleasing. The manor itself looks to be about 2 stories. But these are designed for a creature. I'm getting a lot of tapping every now and again from somebody. I'm just watching you all. So it seems about 2 stories tall, but each floor is probably about 20 feet. Because if you think for a normal person, you're looking about 8-9 feet for a ceiling, 10 feet maybe. This is designed for a creature that is about 15 foot tall. It's quite big. So it's a 2-story building, but enlarged. In terms of gates, you can see one primary large gate at one end of the garden that kind of has a path that twists through the garden, through the water feature, towards a large main entranceway. However, there is a much smaller gate over to the right-hand side of the estate, humanoid size, which has almost a very small path that leads to an adjoining door into the keep. The mansion itself, as I said, it's got a large entry doorway. It also has, in the centre of it, a huge spire crawling up towards the heavens.
Or the higher hell.
Exactly. So climb up to the hells, maybe about 150 feet tall, maybe a little bit higher. But you can see just from looking at it, this one has no connecting walkways, but it does have what appear to be small landings, where you would assume flying creatures could dock, almost, or land on it. That's kind of what you get from looking at the outside. Looking down in the gardens, there are the odd guards patrolling. There's a handful, not many, but a handful of the barbed devil creatures that you've met before, like the ones that are guarding the entrance to Cardenac and that you've dotted around. Most of them work in pairs. There's about three 3 pairs of guards that walk around the main garden area and the exterior. Either side of the main door, there are 2 large horned individuals that are similar to the one you almost encountered walking around the lesser district. Stands about 8 to 9 feet tall with the big beefy wings and the horns that curl out. And you have 2 of those guarding the main door. The side door is also guarded by a single chain devil. So that's kind of what an idea of what you get. The estate is wider than it is long, so it kind of splits out to the sides rather than farther back. I guess if I was to draw it, it looks a little bit like that. Got a spire in the middle. Ignore my terrible drawing, and it's got a perimeter wall that kind of goes a bit like
I really want a donut now.
that. The main gate there. You've got a little side gate here, which you assume is the slave's entrance, and there's a primary doorway about there. Does that give you a good idea?
Yeah, it does. I want to try and get inside the side entrance.
Okay.
Maybe
as you get to it, it is a shut door, and like I said, there is a chain devil there, kind of watching. You can't hear through the eye, can you?
No.
Okay.
Keyhole or window nearby, or gap in
you
the
don't
door.
really see any windows.
No windows at all.
There are a few windows, but they're kind of like these stained glass windows. They're not designed to be opened.
Okay.
And as you approach, you kind of have a look for a keyhole, and as you approach, you do feel your eye is kind of repulsed. You get the idea there may be some kind of enchantment on the building itself.
Okay, so you can get into the garden with the eye, but not inside.
Into the building.
Okay. If I can't, if I push it, it just stops me, right?
Yeah, it's a force field effectively.
Okay.
As you do it once or twice, nothing happens. If you keep trying it, the chain devil does kind of look over in your direction, not at you, but kind of observing as if it knows.
Yeah, I'll stop, since it's. Yeah, then I want to keep an eye on the side entrance. Maybe zoom out a bit and see who's coming and going. If there's only this guy, if there's another joining or he's leaving at some point.
Okay, you keep an eye on it for the next half an hour, and very little about the atmosphere changes. The guards continue their patrol around the gardens. The two horn devils remain outside, and the chain devil stays by the door. There is no
I
other
say
activity.
During this half an hour, I say to the others, since I can talk and still be aware, I describe everything to them, and I ask them if you have any ideas on what to do, what to see. I still have time to fly around.
Not if you can't get in the building. Like, unless you see any like hatches or anything like that in the gardens.
Can the eye fly?
Yeah, I
It
can.
can.
Fly up and see.
See if the spire is also protected.
That's a good shot.
Yeah.
Good shout.
You fly up, and you see these walkways, kind of open hangar type setups on the side of the tower. And they are open, there are no doors to these, but again, as you fly closer, you feel that repulsion. You can have a look inside to a lesser degree, but you can see what appears to be a large winding staircase which ascends the tower and keeps going up, and down, obviously. But it appears to be some kind of like a landing zone or a takeoff pad. Varying sizes. You see about 3 of them. 1 of them quite large, and 2 of them a bit smaller.
Okay. Is there another entrance or just these 2?
Just, if you circle the building, try it. Let me bring up my design of the building.
You guys still hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Discord decided to shit itself apparently, so.
Make
I have to
me
restart
a
everything.
investigation check, Reynolds. Okay, as you do a loop around the building, you do notice on the left-hand side in this corner here, so I'll ping that again, in this corner here, there appears to be a grated outlet, which is pouring out into into an underground tunnel, probably like a sewer vent, almost. And you can see coming out of it there is a slow torrent of a dark crimson liquid.
Blood.
Probably blood.
So what does it look like around the thing?
So
around
if you,
the grates?
it's at the side of it. It's kind of disused almost, but you've got this large, probably this 5 foot, about 5 foot diameter circular grate with bars across it, where the stuff is trickling out of, and it then disappears. It's kind of pooling a little bit. There's a small bit of splattering around, and it seems to vent off somewhere else. And you can kind of see it disappearing into a hole in the floor, underground, and looking around with your investigation check, you get the idea that that might feed into some kind of pipe network underneath the garden, which is fielding the fountains. But there is, so it seems to be excess blood coming from within. Not a huge torrent; it's kind of trickling out at the moment.
Could be the drain from the bloodbath.
Maybe.
Could be something like that. Could be the demon shit blood. You don't know. Devils.
That's metal. Yeah, if there's any time left.
You, at this point, you're running out of time. You've got a little bit left. If there's anything particular you're looking for, but yeah, you're kind of pushing it now.
Yeah, guard rotations, anything interesting in the garden.
All you can see is the barb devils seem to maneuver around the plants. You can get a good idea. You get a good idea of their rotations, and there's a lot of cover here in the garden area. So you get the idea it is something that, were you inclined to do so, you could sneak your way through it.
Okay. How high is the wall? The outer wall?
The outer wall is about 8 foot tall.
8 foot tall. Okay.
And then
8
probably,
foot is like
if you want
2.5 meters.
8 foot is about, it's about 2 meters or just over 2 meters, I think. And it's obviously then you get another like 30-40 centimeters on it for spikes. So it's about 2.5 meters tall in total, and it's made of this kind of quite a solid and smooth dark rock. But it's imperfect in places, and you might be able to climb it.
Okay. So the estate is pretty close on the east and west to the wall.
The estate, yeah. So you got as you look into the main, the back end of the estate is closer to the centre of the city, whereas the gardens face outwards.
Okay.
So if I was going to turn it, if you wanted to mention the centre was here, that's kind of how it would look. But it's easy to do north, east, southwest.
And which direction do we come from as we walk there?
So you're coming, if you're looking at this way, you'd be coming in from like this direction.
Where?
So
Oh, okay, yeah. Yep, I see it. Cool.
Alright, I relay all this information to the others. Alright,
Information relayed.
and
Can we
yeah,
climb
I guess
through
the spell fades then.
And yeah, after your scouting exercise, the spell does indeed fade, and you return to your companions in the collector's foyer.
I pull out a piece of parchment, draw the map down, and so we could either approach go once around, which might be conspicuous, and jump the fence and go through the gardens. The plants might be hostile. The guards seem to kind of avoid them, but it does offer a lot of cover. You don't have to be in a bush for it to give you cover from the other side. But
Yeah, so there's kind of like rows of hedges and stuff. Not necessarily hedge maze, but there are like rows of hedges and stuff that could provide cover to a group of you.
Okay, so we could get in. Maybe I don't know where the sewer grate leads.
Yeah,
It
I'll
might
draw
be
that on the map. Just put it there.
not useful. Where's my charger?
I mean, the sewer grate could be worth checking out. We know this is kept in an underground labyrinth.
If we can get close, I can
Maybe
That's-
we can get out.
There's one chain devil guarding the place, so if we can get past him, I'll try to make myself look like a believable chain devil type of creature.
Maybe you should make yourself look like a bearded devil or one of the other types, rather than being the same type as what you're trying to trick.
Let's see how well this goes. I mean, we can still use that approaching.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be ready with a sleep spell or something, just in case.
Yeah. Do what
How
I
long
can.
have we got? How long have we got until we go now?
About 10.5 hours.
Oh, okay.
So you've got
I
a lot of
wanted
time.
to go talk to...
Go on.
Sorry. I wanted to go talk to Demi about our cover story while all that was happening.
Yeah, you can knock on the door and he can pop his head out again.
Yeah.
You knock on the door. Who is it?
We must be getting
It's
so
me.
bored of this, like just opening the door all the time.
He opens the door and he puts like, you really need to come up with some better jokes. How can I help?
Hi. Yeah. I just realized we don't exactly know a whole lot about how y'all handle slaves down here, and since we're going to be parading most of our party around as slaves, might be good to get a bit more information on that.
Well, they're generally used for running errands, making deliveries, sending messages. Tortured for amusement, sometimes
Right.
bled out. They have many uses. Think of something that you do in your daily life that you really wish you didn't have to do and have someone do it for you. That's what
Washing
Uh,
up.
Didn't exactly mean what they were used for. I meant how they are usually transported or maybe traded from one person to another.
It's a great thing, they transport themselves. Most of them are either... Most of the slaves here are either lost mortal souls who made a bad deal, or went back on a deal, or were purchased from the bazaar.
Uh-huh.
Slaves, and souls in general, can be traded much as if you would trade goods and services.
Okay.
They can be won or lost in bets and deals and games. They can be purchased for souls or gold, or lent as a favour. They're quite a fluid currency, to be honest.
Uh-huh. And would it be suspicious if we were to, say, be bringing slaves from the pits
It would
as
be.
some kind of one bargain, but they already had collars on?
It would not be unfeasible. However, your timing might be a bit difficult.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I'm sure if you could spin a story, that it might work.
Why we gave our people this tongue? That's why we gave our charismatic people the language.
Exactly.
My idea was that we deliver slaves, say, slave delivery, and they're like,
Exactly.
what? There was nothing scheduled. And then we'd be like,
Do you
well,
really want him to get mad if they're not here?
yeah, do you really
Like,
want to
come on.
explain this to your master? We're bringing you slaves, so get out of the faces.
We bring slave. You sign for slave. Go, go.
We can sort this out once your master's back. Until then, enjoy slaves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then we jump them.
I mean,
Oh, we
everyone
don't.
loves good
I would
slaves.
ideally not jump them. Just get them to the pits, and if there's someone escorting us, maybe jump that guy. We should come up with a few signals, I think. Like one or two.
Do you like these collars?
I don't think they're meant to be comfortable with you.
Alright, what's the next thing we need to do? Yeah, how do I look as a chain devil?
Amazing.
Convincing enough?
Demetrius gives you a look up and down. Gives you a sniff. You look the
doing that now?
part. You don't smell
I thought
great.
that'll be... Yeah, I try to do some of my little brimstone and sulfur presto on 'em. Does that help?
You smell like a chain devil who's been to a bad club.
That's better than, you know.
Can you help us out
Not
with
a chain
the
devil,
smell
right?
part?
Well, if my best advice for you would go take a dip.
But
Yeah,
we're
but
Great
here-
for the skin.
Is there a place here to do that?
Not here.
See, we'd have to go all the way back outside and go all the way back in. It'd be.
I mean,
confusing.
you're not short of time, dear.
The Spine Devils seem very unhappy with us
Yeah.
entering.
Of course, you're not even. You weren't even proper devils.
Yes.
You're lucky
So-
you weren't flayed alive, to be honest.
Doesn't the
Well,
master
your
have
help
like a bucket
with
of blood in there?
I'm sure. My master is he's a bit different.
He's a collector. I'm sure he does.
He has many things. I can go and ask him if he has a pail.
Might be a little overreaching.
Or if you'd like to, I can go and purchase some slaves from the market and cut them over you.
Still a bit excessive. They were okay.
I thought so.
Is it just normal blood?
Can we cut? Can we some budger, please?
You're not cutting.
Nothing. It's animal blood anyway. It wouldn't work.
Oh god, animal blood, no. Only if you go to a terrible... I mean, the animal blood would fit the cheap cologne that you appear to be wearing, but...
Wait a minute.
If you want the real... If you want to blend in, you will need the real thing, sir.
Wait a second.
How much do they need?
Oh, a proper dip.
Wait a second. I just thought of something. Go back. The group.
Take it.
I walk back towards the group.
Okay. I assume Demi had kind of joined you all at this point. But
Oh, okay. Well,
if you want him to go, he can leave.
yeah, I don't want to have this conversation in front of him. Because I just had an idea, but I don't want to mention it in front of him.
No problems. I'll just listen in through the collar. And he gives you a wink.
That's
I'm
creepy.
joking. I'll respect your privacy.
Let's say, I don't even think you can do that anyway. I thought that was just a collector.
You don't know.
You're not the owner. You already said you're not the owner.
I mean, he's just through there. We have a ball. And he heads out.
Anyway. So, that potion of anger, or whatever we have, would that happen to be blood?
It is a thick, viscous liquid. It does not remind you of blood.
It's not blood. Okay. I just had an idea. Good. If it's not blood, then it's not gonna work.
We might be able to bribe someone with that vial.
Maybe.
Do you need a vial of blood for anything?
That's a good idea.
Nira?
I don't personally.
I don't fancy it right now. I'm
Think
okay.
so. Might want to ask Gio about
And
that.
he said a
Okay.
proper dip, so I know
I
you
do
think it's
have-
good, but it's not gonna be enough.
I do need to prepare
I
something.
don't trust Giovanni with.
I do have a steadily decomposing collection of veins inside the bag of colding,
That is fair.
named Johnny.
Oh right, Johnny. We also got the
Jesus.
Hellhound fur. That is still fairly. Is that dry or is that? Did we clean that up?
You did what you could with it. You're not tanners though.
Yeah. I did dry it out a bit
For
with the
ease,
first
for ease, if you did want to, you got this far. Returning back to the outer sanctum would not be too much of a difficulty for you, if you wished it.
Can
But then getting back.
You still have the coin. You still have the passphrase.
What
Yeah,
about
let's
just
just-
bathing in the shit blood stuff?
You can do that, but you have to be
walking over
inside
there.
it first.
we need to
Bathing
jump
there.
the fence for that.
Oh,
You
that's
just go for a
inside the
paddle in
fence.
one of the fountains.
Yeah, well, no. Also, there's these imps that might spot us, so I really think we should go the more social route than the sneaky infiltration.
True.
Yeah.
Although they might not. Maybe they don't care if someone's house is broken into. They report to some higher
I feel
master,
like-
and he'll be like, "Eh."
I feel like the city is pretty lawful. I think that's the reason they're up there. Keep an eye on everybody.
Yeah. Okay, then we should probably go to the bathhouse and. Yeah.
Blood
Yeah,
up.
the two of you will just hang out here.
Yeah, because y'all don't need to smell.
No, we already smell.
We'll
like
just
shit.
take a vial and maybe sprinkle you a little.
I mean, I've already
I mean-
bathed.
I can soil stuff with Presto as well. I don't have to clean it.
So, who's going to the bathhouse? If
Hold on.
anyone.
With that, I know you can. I would be able to replicate the smell of blood with that, would I?
You can try. It would take an Arcana check.
Okay. I'm all for it. If it means not leaving, I'm all for it. Oh, hang on. I
Well,
found the right-
didn't Dimi say that it is not really like a proper deal? Dimi did mention that.
Well, you
what
try.
we
You were
do
trying
with-
like the fire and brimstone approach.
Uh-huh.
If you try,
You just said it smelled like you've been to a bad club.
yeah.
I was gonna try for like an actual blood smell.
If you want
I
to
mean,
try
we've
it, you go ahead and
we've-
make me an Arcana check.
I'm trying to, but my
That's fine.
stuff is fucking up.
we've smelled plenty of blood and spilled plenty
yeah.
of ours
Yeah.
and others.
Knowing how to smell it and then recreate and then recreating it is slightly different.
Okay. Well,
What if I put some blood on them and then they could just kind of copy that one?
Unfortunately, it's not like a paint pipette. It's a little bit different.
I was mostly thinking that
I need to
the three big Merovians in who aren't going to be much, have multiple hit points, we could just go and sacrifice them.
No, you need every bit of health you have, just in case something goes hairy down there, which it inevitably will, because it always does. We're not
Looking
using
at the
you.
prestidigitation spell, so you can clean things and you can make an odd odor appear, but you can't maintain an odor. So you can create an instantaneous, harmless sensatory.
Well, no, but you can also soil stuff with it, right?
You can soil it.
Let's just go. I feel like this is unnecessary overhead, and we should really just smell the pot if we're gonna do it. I mean, we have the coin, and we're somewhat under
Yeah.
the collector's protection.
Yeah, just go and get yourself smelly.
I just feel like it's a bad idea to leave. I'm scared we won't be able to get back in. I know we have all that stuff, but
We can
we've
take
already
another
left
entrance.
once.
Split the party.
Is there another
split
entrance?
the party.
I'm
To the,
guessing-
there are 4 entrances to the inner sanctum. It's like a square.
We-
around.
We could go to
Okay.
one that's
Like a
closer
round
to
square.
the. We could also all go and you just chill outside if you're worried about us getting jumped in the street.
Yeah, there were
I'm worried
slaves in
about
the
them
outer
getting up
district.
on the street.
Yeah, then we would get jumped. in
You're
the street,
still
I think.
under the illusion.
Are we?
Yeah,
You
you
haven't
are
dropped
active.
Seaweed
I
yet?
didn't drop it. It's not concentration.
Then how have we fixed our disguises?
You kind of get an idea. We're
Okay.
we're fiddling a little bit at illusions.
We will still need. At some point, we need to drop it anyways, and we can do that like an hour before we need to actually leave for our
Okay.
mission. Plenty of time to adjust your
disguises.
looks.
Yeah, you've still
Okay.
got about 10 hours left.
Alright.
Okay, so A, are you guys going to the bathhouse? And B, who is going to the bathhouse?
All of us.
Yes, and everyone.
Okay. So you all gather your things, most of them being in the bag of holding now, because you have donned your collars and disguises, and you head back out towards the outer sanctum. Doesn't take you too long. Knowing your way around a little bit more now, do you want to avoid the ziggurat or go past it?
The ziggurat we went by
With
last
like
time.
ziggurat type altar that you.
Well, if we're
looked
going
at.
for an entrance that's closer to the bathhouse, we'd probably avoid it.
You could avoid it. It's up to you if you can go via that way or you can go another route. It's just up to you.
I guess we go the way we came.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Go the same way.
yes.
So
Keep
as you-
walking.
you head back and you cut through that same area. The crowd is far thinner than it was before, and you do spot, just taking a cursory glance up, you do spot a creature hanging from the chain still. Previously, you saw one of the bone devils hanging from it. Now, just kind of hanging, very, very taut from 2 chains. You can see a much smaller, what appears to be one of the barb devils, is just kind of suspended in midair and just been left there.
Eesh.
Ouch.
Be that guy.
Doesn't look very comfortable. But you head back out. The 2 horn devils who guard the entrance, they kind of look you up and down as you leave for the entrance. They don't say anything, but you kind of feel their glare as they kind of the glare piercing the back of your head as you proceed out into the outer. It takes you about another 20 minutes to reach around and get towards the bathhouse once again. You get to the entrance, and it is still guarded by that 1 barbed devil.
Cool.
He kind of looks at you. Looks as you approach, and as you do approach, he says to you in Infernal,
I can understand that now.
"Can I help you?"
Ah, yes, we were here earlier. Didn't really have enough time to stay, but it was so lovely, we thought we'd come back.
Good. And them?
They're with us.
No slaves in the bathhouse.
They don't
Still
look like
seeming-
slaves. They're
They
solely
don't, do they?
tieflings.
Sorry, you're right. Fucking illusions. So many of them.
They still look like tieflings.
It kind of gives you all a look up and down. Gives you a smell. You could do with a bath. Go on in.
Yeah, we kind of need one.
You head in, you kind of see that the foyer area before, and that the older female tiefling kind of manning the desks. And he looks like,
Hello.
again in Infernal. Welcome back.
Hello. Hi.
Looking for another dip?
It didn't have much time to stay earlier and relax.
You were in and out quite quickly,
Lovely.
weren't you?
Lovely.
Unfortunately, the
Welcome back.
room that Demetrius booked is unavailable, but the central bathhouse is fully open for use.
I'm sure that'll do fine.
There another private room we can have?
Let me
Oh, that.
check.
Yeah.
She looks through. She kind of pulls out this large book. Unfortunately, they're all booked right now. Unless you're only here for a short stint, I have one for about 45 minutes.
That sounds about enough to
That
get
should be
nice and
enough.
clean.
Yeah.
I'll have to cut it short though, because the person who's booked that gets a bit touchy sometimes. But
Yeah, we should be in and out, no problem.
very well, and she marks it down. That'll be 100 gold pieces, please.
Boop.
So you can pass it back under the counter. Very well. Well, you know the way. You're in room number 7.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You go through the changing rooms again, because there's different changing rooms for reasons. But you go through the changing rooms. I don't have enough time to plan out Devil Society, alright? You go through the changing rooms, and you're kind of met as you come out on the other side with the corridor. One heading left towards the main bathhouse area, and right heads down the private rooms. As you head down, you quite easily find room number 7. The door is closed but not locked.
Okay.
Right, let's do this.
And as
Run
you
in,
head
quick
in,
cannonball, and hop out.
it's very similar to the room that you were in with Demetrius. A single large, 10 foot by 10 foot pool in the centre, with a table and chairs out on one side, and what appears to be a couple of bottles of wine as well,
Okay.
with glasses.
Those are probably extra, don't touch them.
Damn it! He caught on to me. Trying to
Alright,
get rid of
we-
certain room charge.
Room bar.
Take a dip, like 15 minutes maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
Okay, so is it just Ranos and Nira taking the dip? Or
I
are you all
guess so.
taking a dip? You're
Um,
muted, Tom.
Might
I
help
said
the
I've-
illusion
I've
on the way
already had
back
one.
You
if
have.
we all smell that way.
Hmm?
I said it might help the illusion on the way back if we all take a dip now.
I guess so, yeah. Why not?
We could at least put some on our hairline or
Um,
something.
um,
Just,
Yeah. Just
There's
kind of
also,
pressure points.
if we have another pouch of water skin or something, we might fill it up with blood.
I have some.
Disgusting, I know.
It's fine.
Now you're making
I
me feel
guess.
bad. Okay, yeah, you can do so. You can
Just in case you're thirsty.
Fill it up.
Water skin of blood.
Okay, so you, are you disrobing before you go in, or?
Yeah.
I was thinking about it, but then also it would kind of cover the smell, would it not?
Yeah, but you get the idea that most people don't bathe in their robes.
That's
also,
fair.
we would drip and be wet all the time.
Oh, you
so-
just have this trail
Yeah.
of blood. Blah,
Also,
blah, 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 blah,
My
as you-
robes would probably turn purple. That would not be a good look. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so you putting your clothes in the corner, keeping your illusionary robes on for modesty. You all of you take turns dipping it into the pool, and you each spend about 15-20 minutes in there, just soaking.
Why do I have to take turns? It's big enough.
It's big. Well, it's big enough. Maybe not for the 6 of you at once. No, 10 foot by 10 foot. Yeah, you can all go in at once.
Cool.
Get my measurements wrong. You all get in, and you all sit down in this. It's actually quite
I'm gonna
warm.
find a really complicated way to just tie my hair back.
Yeah, you kind of sit down, and it kind of comes up to about.
I'm just holding her hair
About
behind
You
her.
have hair?
No, I probably grab like a.
You have hair?
I have like really long, platinum blonde hair.
Oh, really? I always imagined
Yeah.
you like a bald top lizard.
No,
Kinda.
she's got like super long,
She's got hair.
like white hair.
Let me refreshen. Oh, yeah. There's the picture.
But as you all you sit down, and it comes up to about collarbone height as you all sit down. Rory has to sit on a step, 'cause otherwise he submerges. And it's warm.
Problems.
It's both warm and comforting, and pretty horrifying
Until you
at
think
the same
about the
time.
fact that it's blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The quantities alone.
If it
Don't
wasn't,
think it's
if you
not
didn't,
blood.
if you didn't know
It's
it
not
was
blood.
blood,
not
then
blood. It's fine.
it would be
It's fine.
nice, but it
Not blood.
is.
Not blood.
And kind of as Rory's kind of shuffling around trying to get comfortable because he can't quite keep his head above water, he's getting in his beard and everything. He watches, he kind of he nudges a button off to the side and it starts to bubble. It has a bit of a jacuzzi effect to it. It's just bubbling up and the bubbles pop
Oh,
a bit
God.
of blood everywhere.
You normally have to pay extra for the underwater service.
It's just not very nice. But you spend a good 20 minutes soaking up in the tub. Another 10 minutes getting out and getting yourselves ready. And that's where we're going to take a 5-minute break. So we'll be back momentarily.
Is it already time for the break?
And yeah, you guys planned a lot.
Yeah.
More planning and then a nice execution.
So we'll be back in 5 minutes and we'll carry on from there.
Cool.
Shadowrun is always preparation is 2/3 the session.
Yes.
The rest execution.
Well, I've got left that I want to do, that I'm thinking of doing.
Yeah.
If you guys think it's worthwhile, is as long as we can have a short rest just before we go in, I can do this before we go in.
Do what?
That I've just put it into the chat.
I heard the beep, but I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Which chat?
Into the actual chat.
Discord
I mean,
or Roll20?
no, Roll20. Sorry.
Oh,
there
there
it
it is.
is. Okay, it just popped up.
So I can try and get a reading on how our plan is. Although it's only rough because it doesn't take into account stuff that
Extraneous.
we don't foresee.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, why not? Sure. If it helps.
It might help.
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah,
think
that's nice.
our plan is pretty solid
Next 30 minutes, so it takes us 30 minutes to walk over there.
until
Yeah, that's the
Literally
thing.
just
So-
for the walk over there.
Well, I was thinking we could try and find an alleyway somewhere nearby, and we can do it in that, and then spend 10 minutes sort of chilling.
It only takes a minute.
casting time.
I know it does, but But I was thinking clairvoyance might be useful while we're in there to set like a guard at a door. Because I can do clairvoyance as well.
But can't we just go back to the collector's house?
Yeah.
Well, this has to be a plan within the next 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Specific course of action you plan to take within the next 30 minutes.
Yeah, and then but I can only do this or clairvoyance once per short rest.
Clairvoyance might. I don't know if it's. If we go into the labyrinth below, it would be probably nice to have a sentry that has a look behind us and be able to tell us if something is going on.
Well, that's what clairvoyance does.
Yeah, I mean, our plan is not going to change. If the reading would be it's terrible, then the other option is fight our way in.
I think that's probably the worst option.
It is, but
that
I
needs
mean,
to be like Plan Z.
yeah.
Plans in.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the only other option, if we don't do this, the only other option would be to get in the guy's good graces and be invited, actually.
Yeah,
But we're pretty low on the rung as humans anyway,
yeah.
because I mean we would have to come clean.
Yeah, I kind of feel like
win.
volunteering to fight for him in the pit might be a potential plan of action, but then you don't know what
Might
you're
also
going to
be
be fighting.
our lives.
Yeah.
Possibly.
He probably has enemies like the collector does, and he needs the job done. You know, like kill the collector.
Yeah. Turns out they've been rivals for years.
I think that's the collector is Nathan's favourite character, so something tells me he's not going to let us kill him.
Probably.
No, I don't think you
Yes.
can enter the door if he doesn't want you to. Seems like a personal domain thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's
Also,
a
Nathan changed his Discord name to the collector, so he definitely
saw
likes
that.
the character.
Yeah.
That was great.
Not metagamey, but yeah. I can also create a few tiny servants that might be able to help us.
That would definitely be helpful.
Maybe they can. I mean, one is still up.
Couple
The-
bells.
Bell guy is still alive.
Oh, that's adorable. It's been sitting in your
I
pocket
mean, we
this whole
could
time.
have them run interference, like create maybe two.
Yeah,
That would-
just have them go nuts everywhere.
Yeah, just go run somewhere, knock
Distracting.
something over.
The idea of setting the slaves free to create a distraction might be quite.
I feel like they wouldn't.
A, that, and B, how.
I feel like they wouldn't cause as much of a stir.
I think you're right, actually, because of the collar.
Yeah, they're being stride on and their heads.
That, or they're probably
I mean,
terrified.
the banishing could work. If it's not on the same plane, then items usually don't work,
Yeah.
and I don't think the collars are that powerful.
But if they're also dead.
Also, we can tell him, hey, we're gonna free you now. And then he's gone and we'll never see him again. Because A, he's either exploded, or B, somewhere on the material plane.
Yeah. Maybe.
Hmm.
He might not even be on the same planet, right? Because it just sends you to the material plane, and it's a bigger place. It's all the planets in the system.
Well, see, I think with that one, if you don't banishment, you don't specify a plane. It sends them to, if they're not from the plane they're on originally, it sends them to a harmless demi-plane.
No, if you
No. If you are on the plane you're on from originally,
yeah, if
you
you're
go
a
to a
fire
harmless
being from the
demi-plane.
fire plane, you get sent to a demi-plane. If you are a human on the fire plane, you get sent home.
That's what I meant to say, sorry.
I'm just going to nip to the back in a minute.
It's plane shift where you specify where they go.
Yeah, right. So they go back somewhere. But it's probably better than being here.
Probably. But you gotta think, most of these people are probably dead anyway. So you just be sending
Yeah,
their soul back somewhere.
It might be a temporary improvement, I think. Something we can do.
It's a plan B. If
If
you know,
someone doesn't want to help, then
shit goes
it might
screwy.
be able to nudge him.
Yeah.
I'm pretty bummed. I think the Arcane Eye was worth it, but I'm pretty bummed that I only have 2 dimension doors left.
Yeah, that kinda sucks.
Oh well.
Can you not use a higher spell level to take more people?
I can, but that would... Oh no, it doesn't increase the amount of people. I can use
It
a
doesn't?
level slot to cast it again, but that would be the gayest slot.
I thought that's how Dimension Door worked. The higher the level, the more people you take with you.
No, it's just one person,
Sorry about the
That
delay,
sucks.
guys.
same size or smaller.
Just
That sucks.
girlfriend
Well,
wasn't
it's
very well.
pretty awesome already.
Yeah. It's just I don't know
Um,
if that spell worked.
If there's only one chain devil at the entrance and the range of Gaius is 60 feet,
Don't they have to? Don't you have to talk to them?
V is verbal, right?
V
You don't
is
have
just-
to.
Shout
You
at
don't have to
me.
talk to
It's a
them. You have
verbal
to.
component of the spell. You don't have to actually
Yeah.
talk to them.
Yeah.
You just have to bring them under your cast the spell, and then I think it's a mental thing. A magical command. That's all the explanation you need. If the creature can understand you, it must succeed in a wisdom saving throw or become charmed.
You
by
need to be able to see it as well, so you'd have to be within eye range of it.
And the wall is pretty close to the side entrance, right?
The wall is pretty close, but I mean, yeah, I mean we're talking like 10 feet. So you
Yeah, and
basically
I
have to
talk
poke your
for-
head. You'd have to poke your head out of the window, across the door, and look at him for a minute, muttering to yourself, very, very inconspicuously.
Yes.
Unfortunately,
Is the head of disguise concentration?
the Hat of Disguise does not require concentration.
Okay. Good.
That's good to know.
It is just a hat that makes you look like something different. Nothing more, nothing less.
So did we establish that the chain devil would work?
You established that you can probably
Passable.
a passable chain devil, though doing it
Not against
to
the chain
another
devil.
chain devil, maybe, because the ability of the disguise self is limited. You don't know what is going to happen if you try and look like a chain devil and then go to a chain devil. You've
What
not,
if you
yeah,
look like a
problem is,
disfigured chain devil, like
you've
one
not-
that had been in an accident?
you've also not encountered one face to face. You've only seen them from a distance.
Well, there was the one in the bar drinking with his weird chain.
Yeah, you
But
saw him. He was
that's all.
like across the room, like 20, 30
Mm.
feet away. You've not been face to face with one.
No. I guess we'll do. What's the next lowest?
You don't know what the
Physically
hierarchy
appropriate.
is.
Well, I mean, they get bigger as they go stronger, so.
Most of the time.
There's
Yeah.
no-
So what's the badass looking?
The only
Next.
one that you could intimidate size-wise is the Barb Devil. Because the Horn Devils are about 10 foot tall. The Bone Devils are about similar in size.
Okay, and any other medium humanoid shaped devils we can impersonate?
The only ones you've seen so far are the Barbed Devils, Tieflings, obviously, and also the Abashai. Abashi.
Which is what I'm gonna be doing.
Which is what Nero's going as, and it's a little bit of the limits of the disguise stuff because of the wings and stuff.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I mean, like,
But you won't have wings.
Nero won't, but if you both turn up without wings, it starts to.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it looks a little weird.
I'll just do the barb then.
Okay, you've got images of these within your bestiary, of
Mhm.
course. But yeah, the Horn Devil and Bone Devils are quite large. I'll give you the Imp as well, actually. I don't know why I've not given you that. There's the Imp.
Because we haven't seen one?
You haven't seen
Medium as
one,
well?
actually, but you know what an Imp is.
Are those actually medium? I thought they were.
Those are small. Those are tinies, in fact. I was just going through the bestiary and saw that. I thought, fuck it, I'll give you that as well. While I'm there.
Because that'd be convincing.
And I'll edit this one too, because it's Abashai. I don't think that's quite spelled correctly, but I'll do it anyway. There you go.
Alright,
Just updating those. There you go. I mean, you can use an Oblex if you want. Go as Yancy Bin, maybe. You guys have encountered a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anything other that we want to do preparation wise?
So confirm you don't want to do anything about the Pit of Sacrifice, the arena.
No.
Probably not.
Damn it.
Saving that as a plan B.
Good to know.
Yeah.
So while we're inside, we wanna. Can we locate an object we have the facsimile of?
You need to
Probably.
be familiar with the item, I think. You might be able to do it with the fake. You don't know until you try.
It'd be funny if we did it and then they just pointed to the fake. It's like, no, that's not what
Do
we
we
meant,
have
damn it.
do we have locate object prepared? Yes.
Yes.
Yay.
I didn't know
Um,
what he wanted, so I just packed a bunch of stuff.
What's the range on that?
It is something thousands.
It's a lot
I
of
think it's
things.
like 1,000
feet.
miles?
Feet.
Or 1,000 feet, something like that.
It's give me a second. Give me like 3 seconds.
I think 1,000 feet.
It's 300 meters.
It is
It's
1,000
Or
for
like a
10
mile,
minutes.
or something like that.
Yeah, 1,000
It's
feet for
1,000
10
feet.
minutes.
But I can't see through lead.
Can't see through lead.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like he has it in a lead box.
If we want to do that, when we need to do that as we go in or as we are inside alone, which is doubtful.
I just need to know as detailed as possible so I can get that object.
I mean, we have the exact copy, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
and that if I'm looking at the exact copy, I can kind of
So
try and find.
we were
What
told
was it
there's a
we were going to
labyrinth.
steal again? I don't
Yeah.
even remember.
It's like what you've been given is this like probably about yay big like silver and gold orb type thing. Looks like a very well cut jewel.
It
Do we know what it's
is
supposed to be?
10 minutes.
You have no idea.
Okay, let me just run through my thoughts real quick. So we want to get close, cast locate object, just to see a general direction. There's a labyrinth, so I would like someone to record our turns, so straight, left, right, something like that. That would be helpful for getting out. I will also chalk mark the walls, and
You have chalk on you?
I do.
I'm pretty sure it's part of like literally everybody's
I bought it in
Yeah.
Samoa, I think.
I was just checking.
If he doesn't, I probably
As
have
a destruction
one
can
on me.
release slaves, although they probably won't run since their heads will explode. But I can
If they
send
have
tiny,
colors.
servants about that could make a ruckus and be hard to
That'd be
find.
hilarious.
Yeah. For getting out, we need to follow the chalk probably. Dimension door with the arcane eye, it won't work anymore, but up to 4 people would get out, which is already good.
The other two we can lose 2.
Yeah.
Rory
We've
and
We've done that
Giovanni.
before.
It really depends on how the collector is gonna move us. If he is powerful enough to just whisk you away, or some of us, then it might be fine, you know?
Maybe. I don't think.
If he's like, take this item and then stand and hold hands, then that would suck.
Hold hands, click your heels together, and repeat these words.
Exactly. So that's
Triguna,
my
Macoides,
Hakuna Matata.
Plata, Verata, necktie. So that's my plan for getting for what we can do without
Yeah.
seeing what's it like inside, I guess. So yeah,
I'm just super nervous about all this.
what could go wrong?
Everything.
I know.
What is that? Plan never faces or something.
No plan survives contact with the enemy.
that's true enough. But having a plan is everything.
Indeed. So, you now, with your trip to the Luminous Pools and back, I'm assuming you've come back, you get past the guards without too much of an issue. They're not happy about it, but you get past for brevity's sake. Though you don't want to you get the idea you don't want to push your luck too much. As you return to the collector's house, you let in. There's no one there. Demetrius is not around. You get in without an issue. You now have about 6 to 7 hours until you believe Aramas leaves. So, if you want to just whittle away the time.
I have one more question. We should discuss. I think
Okay.
if we have
While you
to
do that, I
subdue-
just need 2 seconds. Sorry, guys.
yeah, no problem. If we have to subdue someone, how do you think we should do it?
Subdue. Sorry, I thought you said seduce.
No.
I was like, well, I seem to be pretty good at seducing demons so far. So
No, I was thinking we're probably gonna be let in, guarded, and if this chain devil creature is what is Nathan doing? Anyway,
I think
Sorry.
maybe magically,
mosquitoes?
like
No. My neighbour smokes a lot of weed and it gets in from my windows.
oh nice.
Yeah, it's great. It's one of the reasons I'm moving house.
I used to live above a drug dealer that had the same, and then you'd get raided at 6 o'clock in every morning.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's fun. But anyway.
So we might need to jump a guy inside, and it needs to be quick and it needs to be silent. So,
I
if you have
thought
any ideas on how to accomplish that?
we don't have to kill him, do we? Just subdue him so Geo can put him to sleep or something.
Oh, I remember having the ability to do that, and I don't think it's very useful against more powerful creatures.
No.
If you had like a goblin or something, that would work, but not against these beefy dudes. I mean, if it's just that guy and the 6 of us, then we could probably fuck him up pretty quickly, but it still needs to be quick and silent, and we need to have a plan.
Would it help if I cast silence?
It would probably.
Because I have it. I said just packed around a bunch of stuff.
It might be
I
useful. Yeah?
also have
I feel so helpless
slow.
today. This is really rare.
Silence.
That sounds good.
Easy.
Okay, so as long as we have an idea, that's good then. I think we try to rest it, see if it works. I don't know. I feel pretty comfortable.
I feel like I should roll this before we go in.
What's that? Sorry. Oh,
I haven't done it for a long time.
yeah, that's fine. You've been away.
Alright.
So.
Sprout 2 more heads.
So,
According to Tom, he's got 2 more penises.
it's just as much as. So you have about you have 6 hours remaining. Is there anything you want to do in that 6 hours, or just prepare yourself? Do you want to sit down? Do you want to read a book? Do you want to play checkers? Do you want to try and explore the collector's lair?
Probably not a good idea.
For how long do you need to read the book?
It says it on the item, I think.
Where is it?
I don't know.
Tell more leadership there.
Probably somewhere in the magic items and stuff.
48 hours over a period of 6 days. So noob.
No. Just letting you know. Okay then. I mean, you guys, I'm quite disappointed you haven't worked in the Tome of Sovereign Glue into any of your plans.
I'm thinking about the stubborn glue, but it's probably a thing that needs to happen in the moment. Because it needs to set.
That's fine, just put them to sleep and then glue them to the floor. Boom, perfect.
Yeah.
Or wait for the big devil guy to sit down in his chair and you put glue on it. And boom, you can rob anything.
You can probably
To make him drink it.
Oh, that'd be
glue a
bad.
door shut or something.
Turn your
Oh, I
greatest
still have a hammer and
weakness into
pitons.
your greatest strength. The door.
Johanna,
Sorry.
just in case we have to use it to bribe somebody, can I hang on to the vial of anger?
Oh, man.
Yes. But I give him and the altar soft potion. I'll give them both to you.
The what now?
Alter self
Yeah.
potion.
Alter self, yeah, I'm gonna need that.
But you need it anyway, so I'll just
Yeah.
give you both everything. Can I attune, if I have to take all my stuff off, can I attune to the Tinder Strike knife? In case I have to do any secret stabbing.
You can.
Neat.
Inside of the thigh kind of thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've kept my swords on. They're small.
They're small. They kind of like, you could probably affix them to your legs like holsters. Where's Tinder Strike?
Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
I'm going to just attach it to my belt underneath my robes.
So you attuned to Tinder Strike.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just
I spent the time probably practicing my Barb Devil.
Practicing
Get a
the
feel
improv.
for the look and the mannerism.
It's like, this is really weird.
What do you mean? Feeling.
don't think that really makes too much difference for you, Joe, but
To be honest, not really.
but that you gain that.
Okay. Oh boy.
Equip yourselves and
Is Tinder Strike cursed?
You have no idea.
I guess we'll find out in a few minutes.
Well, we've only ever used one of the elemental weapons that we got, and it was very badly cursed. So,
Yeah.
true.
Oh, that gives me a really good idea. Sorry.
You just burst into flames as soon as you attune to it.
You become a fire genasi.
Question: do I know
That'd be
this?
dope as fuck.
As a character, no. As a player, yes.
Okay.
Also, take off your jewelry, people. I guess you did that as part of the thing.
It hides under the collar.
Yeah, I take off my ring of mind shielding.
Do you have to wear it on your finger or just on your person?
Oh,
It's a ring.
it's not that kind of rig, Rados.
That's not what I meant. I mean, can you
I'm
put
not
it in
taking
like
any
a
of my
breast
stuff off.
pocket or
I don't have
something?
to.
You, generally, you'd have to wear it, yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I'll take it off. That's probably a good idea.
okay.
Although,
So,
I did just realize a weird mechanic.
what's that?
I do currently have 2 iron stones floating above my head.
You do. You may have to take those down. Actually, no, you probably don't.
No?
I mean, you're a devil.
That's fair.
I mean, you can leave them up there or you can not. That's entirely up to you. So,
I mean, if we're gonna have to take a break for everybody to put their stuff back on anyway.
you have about 6 hours. You have got just under 6 hours before you have to leave to get there for when you believe Aramas will not be there.
Yeah.
Is there anything anyone else wants to do apart from continue your preparations, talk, reconfirm plans, and the like?
Speaking of the iron stones, would I be able to? I mean, he's got a shield in there, which I have that spell already. But as far as like the armor of Agathis, would I be able to use that?
I guess so. If
It's technically stored
If
in
Rory
the
would,
thing.
does he have it in the stone?
Yeah,
I never keep
it
track
was
of what
in
you
the
guys
stone.
put in stone.
It was in. I wrote it down
Okay,
when you gave it to me. I wrote down what was already in the stone.
can't see why not.
Okay, that'd be cool. Literally.
Okay then. So you spend your
Alright.
time, you prepare, you go over notes. Giovanni, are you doing anything? Are you doing that thing you whispered to me?
Yeah, I'm just flipping through.
Okay.
I've taken my eyeliner and I'm drawing a picture of Bodger in the corner of the room.
That's adorable.
Zin's just sat rather. Zin's just sat there uncharacteristically quiet.
That's weird.
Oh.
Okay.
So Aramis is gone for like, what did he say, 4 hours, right?
I think that was it. Yeah. Sounds about right.
4 hours.
Hopefully, it won't take us that long to do all this, but
Yeah.
you never know. It's a fucking labyrinth. We could get stalled.
Yeah.
Should we, while we rest, maybe just go there now and talk to the guy? Bribe him, maybe? Who's guarding the door?
That would be dumb.
No, we
I'm
want
just
the
asking.
guy to leave first. Because...
I think he means bribe the guard,
It's fucked.
not the actual guy.
Yeah, but...
We could stab the
we want
guard.
him to not be home.
That might raise more of an alarm.
We could stab everybody.
That's plan Z. You're
I
skipping
think it
ahead.
would be quite surprising to anyone if the Slaves suddenly try and stab you very hard.
No one expects the unexpected. It would be fun.
Okay.
Respect.
So,
Fine.
you spend the next few hours preparing, sorting out your equipment, donning the robes and ensuring that you look as slave-like as possible. The smell's still lingering in the air around you that by now you've no longer noticed as you've grown accustomed to it. But the hour approaches. You reach the point where if you left in the next 5 minutes, Aramas will be likely leaving his property. So
Probably when I'm already gone first.
So it's up to you if you want to go there for when he leaves, maybe get a glimpse of him, or if you want to wait a little bit until you definitely know he's gone.
Maybe get closer and wait for him to leave.
If that's what you want to do.
I'd like to size him up a bit.
Well, I would not like him to size up us. And it's probably not good if he knows who we are, since he's powerful. And even our faces, Especially yours, since you're not covered in anything.
Yeah, that's fair.
I
But we're gonna be bamping out right after this, right? Hopefully.
don't know. Maybe. Hopefully.
Maybe not.
If he attacks you, I'll stab him.
We're lost now.
You versus
Yeah.
the
I have
collector.
something stabby.
Okay,
I'm not that scared.
so are you heading down to try and catch him as he leaves, or are you leaving it a little bit?
Let's get a glimpse of him. Just want to see.
I still think the best plan is to wait till he's completely gone.
Yeah. I also don't want to linger in the streets. Seeming is gone, by the way, since more than 8 hours have passed.
Yes, you've lost your seeming, which allows you to actually assemble your listed outfits and disguises. Quite much easier than it would have done before. Okay, I'm
So
also...
hide your
That's all wrong. Come here.
hide your armor, hide your weapons, your trinkets.
Alright.
As I shove the mandolin in the.
Okay, who's
bag
got the
of
bag
holding.
of holding? Have you got it, Ranos?
No, I've got the holding.
I'll probably put it in the
Why
bag
would you
of
have a
holding.
bag?
I meant the bag. Who's got the bag?
I've got
Keeping
mine.
hold
Why
of the
would you
bag.
have a bag?
Good to know.
Well, bag on the slave? I don't think so.
It's under my robes.
No, it doesn't.
It's like wearing a dressing gown. If you put some under the dressing gown, you can generally see. But you don't
What dressing
know
gowns are
if
you
that is
wearing?
normal or not. For a slave to be wearing a bag.
You really want to
That's
risk
not
it for humanity?
I got it. You'll get it back, I promise.
Okay, so
Oh, stop yelling at me.
Alright.
all right
I
then.
don't know what bathrobes you're wearing.
So you wait another 10-15 minutes, timing it so that hopefully you won't be encountering Aramis, and you make your way out of the collector's homestead.
So where on the map? Where would he have to go to the arena?
So you guys will be
Would our
coming in
paths
from
cross?
no. So you guys are coming in from this way. However, the arena, if I move this entire construct again, I move it just that, because if you're looking at it, if the center of the city is over here, yep, here's the garden points towards the outside of the city. So you guys will be coming in this way. He will be leaving that way.
Okay.
Okay,
Good.
makes sense.
Yep.
Cool. So I'm now going to actually I'll keep this. It could be useful for the.
Alright.
Let's not do that. That's a bad idea. Let's use the entire thing. Oh, trying to select this entire thing is a nightmare. There we go. Much better.
Zin, do you want to do your thing before we leave? I mean, is this in the time frame? No, it's not.
I thought we were gonna wait and use the other thing.
All right. Yes. If you think that's more useful.
I think it could be.
Okay. Then let's approach.
Okay. So you guys head through the streets of. Go on.
Huh?
Sorry, go on, Nira.
I hadn't actually said that I drank the potion.
Are you drinking the potion?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I had assumed you would have done so.
Okay.
So you donning
Making
your
sure all the
disguises with
pieces are in
Ranos disguised as a bearded devil. Sorry, barbed devil. Bearded devils live on an entirely different plane. What ridiculousness. As a barbed devil, Nira disguised and transformed into an more Abishai style. And the rest of you wearing your slaves' robes and thick, heavy slave collars and very little else. You make your way through the large, winding streets of the inner sanctum, passing by large estates. Constantly, just the entire air is always filled with the constant low moaning of the lemures that are pinned to various walls and things. Every now and again, you still hear the beat of wings over your head, both small and large, as you see imp-like creatures darting around and larger winged fiends going about their business in the upper echelons of the city. After about 25 minutes of walking and navigating your way
Brisk
through,
walk.
actually, who is leading the charge?
I would say very purposeful.
Nira and me would probably. I know the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ranos, do you want to give me a survival check with advantage because you've kind of seen the way already from a different perspective.
Survival.
Okay, you navigate through the streets with relative ease, and you get there within good time. Quicker than you thought, actually. It takes you about 25 minutes to reach the Walls estate that you now recognise, having seen it through the arcane eye, but now seeing it with your own physical eyes. Right now, as you approach, as one of the streets intersect, you can see that there's a row of these. There's kind of like a number of these estates that kind of all cluster around a central cul-de-sac, with roads dropping off in different directions. And you arrive about here, so you're on this kind of corner a bit here.
Head towards one of the gates.
So you're. That's not the right thing to do. You're there, so you're a square right now.
You're a square.
We're hip.
I'm a midpoint.
We'll probably head purposefully up to the side entrance.
The gate, yeah.
The slave gate.
You make your way round to the servants' quarters entrance, and there is this. It's still impressive and well made. This grated iron gate with a bit of a small archway over the top, customarily covered in spikes. And you can see about 10-15 feet back, kind of standing to attention, is one of these chain devils, standing next to an impressive and imposing looking dark iron door. As you guys walk past, do you stop just by the gate?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, he looks up, and just locks eyes with you, Ranos. Doesn't say anything, just looks at you. And you can see other chains just kind of start to, they were rather stationary, then kind of pick up and begin to move slightly as if they had more minds of their own, jingling and chaining as they go.
I say an abyssal and my.
Abyssal or Infernal?
Missile.
Well, I only know one of them. So it's that one.
Okay.
He could have fucked us so hard we wouldn't even know.
That would have been amazing.
That's speaking abyssal, yeah.
We wouldn't have understood the infernal at the cast though.
You wouldn't. Unless it was like a group joke. Like you'd also put on your head an invisible talk abyssal to me, troll. But anyway, you kind of he's just watching you. You can see these two dark red eyes peering above this massive chains.
I will approach the iron bars and say to him that we have a delivery of slaves for General Aramis.
He looks up, kind of cocks his head to the side, like studying you up and down.
And I'll
You show
motion
the
him over to
slaves.
bring him to
Yeah.
view.
Would have stepped up.
Okay. Nero, are you doing anything at this point?
I would have stepped up with the slaves as he said that.
Awesome. The rest of you, slaves, anything you're doing?
I'm gonna act fairly placid and just move up.
Okay. He looks over. He kind of looks you up and down, and then kind of moves forwards. Not quite to the thing. He stands about 5 foot back from the gate, and looks over your shoulder and just inspects the wares behind you. And as he speaks, his voice almost rattles and grates as if it was chains themselves speaking. I was not expecting a delivery.
Unexpected things happen. He requested these specifically.
Did he now? Do you have their release forms?
Do they need those? We didn't get any of those.
I'm joking. He looks at.
Well, we were told to bring these here, so we did it.
Yeah?
He looks him up and down. Don't smell fresh. I'd like you both to make me a persuasion check, or one of you with
boy.
advantage.
Didn't we? We only did the blood thing for getting back to Collector's Place and then cleaned up the Presto on the...
I don't believe you
We
cleaned
didn't
up.
say we cleaned up.
Oh, we only said we would. We didn't do it, right?
I don't think you. I don't recall you guys cleaning up. So everyone is blood bathed right now.
Does anybody else remember that, or is that just him? Because my Discord cut out.
Because I remember that we said... You said, do we all want to go into the blood? And then we were like,
you all did.
yeah, for the way back it makes sense.
I thought I just put like some of my hairline, but I didn't cover the rest of me. I thought it's.
I mean, Rory did blow bubbles in the bath, but I thought we would clean up the non-devils.
If you want to do that, I'll allow it. It's been a bit hectic.
Okay.
So you clean them up.
If
Anyway, he
you
looks
guys
up and
okay
down,
with that?
goes and says, "Where did they come from? Why have you brought them here? Who sent them?"
We're here to deliver them. General Aramis was the client.
Really?
It is his estate, is it not?
You have reached the right place, but it's unusual for him to buy them personally and then not bring them back.
He was not
So
there.
it's-
He
it's-
sent
he was
someone,
busy.
but we were meant to deliver. That is all.
Okay, I said I'd like one of you, either both of you to make deception checks, or one of you to make it with advantage. Up to you two.
Deception.
Deception.
I got plus 12.
Fucking hell.
You go ahead and take advantage of that one.
Okay.
Because I only have plus 5.
Nathan's like already rolled his thing. Got like 6.
30.
Jesus Christ. That's not
I mean,
even as high as you can
nope.
roll.
No. He looks you up and
I
down.
mean,
It's just an 18.
Brannis could have rolled a 1 and beat that.
I know, it's annoying. Kind of looks you up.
Oh, Jesus.
Very
I'm
well.
helping a little bit, but not much.
And you watch as one of the chains from within the mass reaches out, and on the end of it is a key, and it unlocks the gate. And he beckons you forwards as another chain reaches out from behind. He doesn't move. He stands there, his arms crossed, as the chains reach out and unlock both doors with hidden keys.
Interesting.
And the chains then retreat back within. He just he beckons you as a group forward. He stands back a little bit as he beckons you all through the gate, the first gate. Very well. I will take them from here. The pens are not far.
Well, if they're not far, then you won't mind us walking them in.
We bring them to their destination, that is the deal.
This is their destination. You are within the estate. You are not permitted within the manor.
They've still got the collars from the previous owners. We need to unseal them.
Make me okay. So Nira, make me a persuasion check, or deception, whichever you think is best.
Persuasion is better for me. Oh God, please, dice, please, 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 please.
He looks around. Very well, but make it quick. He turns around and falls first with one of the chains and pulls open the first door, opening up inside, and walks in. I take it you will follow.
Mm-hmm.
I shoves in.
As you enter, you enter quite a large room that seems that itself only reaches about 15. The ceiling it's here reaches about 15-20 foot high. It's quite tall. As you walk in, you can see the room is split up into different sections. You can see on one side, to the right, seems to be a large kitchen type setup. With various bubbling pots and pans and stoves. You can see kind of what looks to be some kind of a washing area, preparation area, and it's basically a large kitchen. And you can see about 24 people in these white robes running around and doing bits and bobs. On the left-hand side, you can see this large row of cages. There must be about 5 cages in total. And there are a few individuals in them at the moment. There's a handful in each, but you get the idea that most of them are kind of dotted around.
All collared?
They are all collared, yes. You see various races. You see humans. You see elves. You see the odd dwarf here. Very few halflings or gnomes, though. The odd half-orc, dragonborn as well. It seems to be like the bigger races rather than the
Also,
smaller ones.
gnomes and halflings are too smart.
Maybe.
And good-natured.
Maybe.
And there's Yomp. What?
That sick burn, bro. And you can see there are several cages, and as he walks up, there is one cage about half in the middle that is completely empty. He walks up to that one with you following. You watch as some of the slaves kind of poke up and look in your direction, and you do notice there are a few barb devils in this room as well. They seem to be just keeping an eye on the slaves. He leads.
How many?
There's 2 more. So there's 2 barb devils in here. As you enter, you get to that central cage, and he just nods his head towards it, and he opens the door.
So can I get a quick layout of the room?
So yeah, if I were to give you a Picasso style drawing, you can do box. If you do that, that's horrible. Let's not do that. Do that. Imagine there's 5 of these. There's only 4 there because I can't draw.
So we're in the slave. This is the slave pens
This
room.
is the slave pens, and the kind of over this area is kitcheny stuff. So door. There's a door here. There's a door here as well. So you got outside that way, got a door going that way, and another door that way. Again, this is all like kitcheny, laundry, preparation area, and here is just slave pens. No beds or anything, just cold stone floors.
So it's just cages, and on the other side of the room there's a kitchen.
Cages
in the same
and kitchen
room.
in here, yeah, so it's slave pen and kind of like slave working area.
Okay, and where are the demons? Devils?
One at each of these doors. So you've got one here, and you've also got one there.
No plan survives contact with the enemy, huh?
And there is a cage here, this cage here that you've been led to. It's currently empty, and there are just people dotted around all over the shop. What are you gonna do? He's kind of looking at you expectantly.
I'm just gonna fairly quietly go. I'm ready.
Ruckus!
As you kind of stood there awkwardly, just and you still watch as the chain devil is just kind of eyeing
you guys hear me?
and you are going a bit robot Zin. As the chain devil is eyeing you, it's kind of, you can see he's getting suspicious. And
as I'm walking forward, is he like? Oh, sorry, I was going to say, is he like close to us?
he's a bit ahead of you,
cheering us in.
He's a bit ahead of you.
Okay, so he stood between where I am and the cage, basically. Yeah.
Kind of. So if you've got the cage, the door's open. He stood next to the cage, and you guys are kind of just a little way back, walking up towards the cage.
Okay, so I'm going to walk as if I'm going to walk into the cage. And then as I get close, like very close, as in touching distance, I'm going to try and shove him in and shut the door.
Okay, so you want to try and shove the chain devil into the cage. Okay. Okay.
We're out of ideas.
You are going extreme. I got most of that, but you are going extremely laggy.
He honestly just sounds drunk.
Yeah. So if there's anything you can do on your own, it would be appreciated. Okay, so the rest of you watch as Zin starts to make a move towards this chain devil. Is anyone else doing anything?
Can I try and get a couple of minutes slow?
I'm going to cast silence.
I mean,
on
this
the
is very
devil
much
thing.
quick. Like, can you react to Zin? If you wanted to stop him, this is your chance.
No.
So what is he doing? So he's approaching, and that's
So he's
all.
approaching the cage, and as he's approaching, you watch as he start. You can kind of see his hand twitch a little bit, as if he's about to act. Does it? I'm just asking if
He
anyone
did
stopped.
honestly just whisper, "I'm ready." So.
Okay.
Don't make a ruckus. No.
Oh yeah, I've cast silence on there so it's nice and quiet.
Okay. As you do so, you reach out and you very swiftly grab the chain devil. Go to grab the chain devil by the neck to throw him into the cage. I'd like you to make me an athletics check, please. Not bad, 21. And you have advantage actually because you have a surprise. So if you want to roll it again, just in case you get higher. 21 to his 19. Okay, as you grab him, he wasn't expecting it. He's kind of looking at Ranos and Nira, kind of suspecting them a little bit at this point. As you grab him and you lob him into the back of the cage, and he flies back a good 10 feet and rattles against the back as you slam the cage door shut. And the other two the other slaves, they kind of look up, curious and concerned, but very quickly go back to what they're doing. As the other two barbed devils look over it and just kind of, they're a bit surprised of what's going on. And
Assist us, fools!
and I'd like.
Then
Oh,
I'm going to.
is that what you say, Ranos?
Charge at the one.
Okay. Do you want to charge towards that bearded devil, Ranos? What do you say to the devils?
That they should assist us with getting this unruly creature back
Okay.
in place.
Okay, make me a deception check with advantage.
Oh, shit.
Deception.
Okay. They both pull out these. They have these long spears at their sides, and they. You see them look at each other. Fucking slaves, and they both they run towards you. Zin. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm just kind of keeping a hand on the other two.
I really want to help.
Yeah, and the one, Rory probably. I keep my hands on Rory,
Okay.
and I press it pretty hard. And once they are closing in on Zin and are fairly close together, I'll give him a shove
Rory.
towards them, so he'll know to
Engage.
go beast mode. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Okay.
And then we'll probably.
I think at this
Mess 'em up.
point, I think we should roll in some initiative then.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I think I cast.
Also keep the chain devil from escaping his confines, which would be pretty easy for him, I think.
Okay, I'm gonna just
Maybe.
do that because I'd already tasked that. I think.
No, we don't have that. Shit. I've gotten so used to token button.
Sorry, yeah. Feel free to drive yourselves onto this map.
Is it just me or is it warm in here?
Oh wait.
Sorry.
There we go. Got
I
it.
do not have this actually prepped, so...
Just ended up highlighting everything.
Yeah. There's so many variables that I didn't actually plan for a state battle, so I'm just building this very quickly.
It's fine.
Oh,
I don't think
just
we
leave
planned for it
them.
either, but just kind of happened.
I mean, there's a... We can't just leave them here and go.
Put the
Stick them in the
doors
cages.
on. This room is not to scale, I will say, because of time constraints.
It's fine.
But you guys are
Having to
going
build a map on the
here.
fly is not easy. You're fine.
So put Giovanni, Ranos there, there, and I will put
Yeah.
there as
I
well.
would have probably been between.
Feel free to
those two.
place yourselves roughly. I'm just going to put you in a rough area. And then
Rory.
we're going to put the...
I would have been like here. Giovanni would have been back one because I was holding on to both of their collars.
chain
Okay.
devil.
That would be...
Barb devil. Let's do that. Okay, I'm missing one initiative. I'm missing one more initiative.
Oh yeah.
Ranos.
Ranos. Chain devil. Roll some initiative. Barb devil. I keep calling them bearded devils, and it's really annoying me.
It's a completely different thing.
They're very different. I nearly went into my dwarves accent there. For no apparent reason. Okay, so, and imagine in the corner over here, you've got crockery. Okay,
Can you bring the pots and pans to life? Have them start beating
So
the shit
we
out.
wait until they approach, right?
Yeah.
Because when they're close by the doors, then they'll just run, maybe.
okay, so as they begin to move in, so let's put this in a decent order actually, and let's put some battle music on as well because why not? You're in battle, so there we go. Okay, so as the kind of do this as play a little bit more. The bearded devils, they are going to move. Sorry, barbed fucking devils are both going to move in and start to converse around on Zin. So you can get to there. As you watch, as the chain devil runs over and he grabs onto the bars. He's like, "Oh, get me out of here, you fools!"
He can't make any noise.
Okay, I'll, where did you cast the silence spell? And not right now, Tom. Not at all, Tom.
Like, on him?
You cast on an object, or like a place.
Well, I thought that could the creature be the object?
Creature is not an object.
Oh, the front of the bars then. It's a 20-foot radius.
Now can you hear
Now I
me?
can hear you, yeah.
Can
Yes.
just do it on the point it on the ground.
My initiative should be 20, by the way,
Okay, I'll put that
because
like...
I have advantage.
Like,
Yeah, it's no problem. That's going to be roughly it. Okay?
Yeah.
So Giovanni, you see the devil shouting, but you can't hear anything from him.
slightly further, I guess.
And so that's... It's kind of... It was a very... This is not a precise science, unfortunately. This is very
Okay,
much
that's
a...
basically.
I'm dropping a sphere, and something's going to happen type thing. So, the sphere is down. I need to make it slightly wider, not more circular. There we go. Okay, so, that's going to be their turn. So, top of the round,
It should be me.
top of the round should be you. Sorry, Zen. 21, was it?
20,
20.
but I'm guessing I've got higher dex than.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
Hannah.
you probably do. Okay, so remember, those of you in slaves, you have very little gear on you. Zin, you're up.
Okay. Zin is going to draw his swords as a bit of a surprise to them.
Okay.
And I'm just going to charge straight at this guy and start laying into him. But I am going to rage.
Okay, bonus action rage. You go for it.
Oh, come on.
Okay, the first one misses, the second one hits. Okay, as you do 15 points of piercing damage.
With
Oh,
what
not
swords?
good.
He had swords strapped
He,
to his
he has
legs.
swords. He has his
Oh,
little wooden.
right.
He's got like
Yeah.
you imagine those like kids' toy wooden swords. They're almost like that. Yeah,
I
they're
referenced
strapped
Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
Tomb Raider straps.
that was it. Right.
with- Okay, is that you done?
Yep.
Okay, Johanna, you're up.
That's on a fire.
Oh no! As the last action, I'm going to say, "Slaves, help!"
Okay, good to know. Johanna, you're up.
Yeah.
Ranos, you're next.
I'm gonna stab the other one.
Which one?
You make it that far.
I can make it. I can.
Also, remember you don't have enough armor right
You
now.
cannot move that far.
No,
Get to
I
this
can
guy.
make it here. I'll stab that one.
Okay. Run up and make yourself an attack.
Oh god, what do I need to do?
For
Wait,
you,
sorry.
it will be. What's your dex modifier?
2.
Okay, so it will be roll a d20 plus 6.
4,
7.
6, 7. Yeah.
No,
Proficiency plus
8.
dex.
Because it's a plus 2
Second
dagger.
bonus.
So 1d20 plus 8.
1d20 plus 8. Sorry. This is what happens when you give yourself defense.
With what are you attacking?
Tinder strike.
She has a dagger.
Oh yeah, right, yeah. Nice. Swipe right.
Okay. So you run up.
You can use strength for that as well.
Can use strength, but she has
It's a
got
dagger.
gauntlets on
You
right
can use
now.
dex.
Oh, right.
But yeah, so you can. If you want to attack, it's roll 1d20 plus 8.
I displayed
Very
it's
good.
24.
It's 24.
Oh, sorry, I don't see it. There it is. Sorry, I hadn't scrolled down. That does hit. So for roll damage, I'm not sure what it is without looking at the item.
Dagger's usually d4 plus whatever.
No, I think it's D6, isn't it?
D4 for dagger.
Daggers are a d4.
It's d4 plus 2d6. So I'm going to say 1d4. Wait, and then I'm going to do another one.
If you just roll the die, I can do the other calculations in my head.
There's also a little button. Top
Plus
left.
2d6.
The tools. You just hit dice.
12, so 16.
Okay, so 16 plus that is 18 points of damage. Just checking
Not bad.
something. Okay, 18 points of damage. Not bad. Okay, Ranos, you're up.
I will. So they're not focused on us because we decepted them, right?
They're currently running
did.
at Zin and now Johanna as well, but they are kind of eyeing you as you kind of let them go.
I will move here, dragging Rory with me.
That will halve your movement then.
Yes, that's half my movement, right?
Okay.
And do I have a weapon?
You don't.
I have the staff on my back, I guess. I'm still attuned to that.
I guess so. Staff?
The staff of the Magi. Is it like a tiny wand or is it like a quarterstaff?
Is it? You mean the wand of the War Mage?
No, the wand of the staff of the Magi that I got from one of the Drow priests.
Pass?
Nathan's like, don't remember giving you that one.
You didn't have a staff of the Magi.
You gave me one.
not-
At least you call it. I don't know if it's the staff of Magi. It's a plus 1 DC, plus 1 attack.
That's wand of the
For
War
magic.
Mage.
Well, I thought I had a quarterstaff on my back the whole time.
There's one. So that what you're describing there is the wand of the War Mage, which I do remember giving you.
Okay, I thought maybe you called it something else.
Sorry.
Well, I understood. Oh, whatever. Wand of the War Mage. I thought I had a cool staff on my back the whole time.
Unfortunately not.
I really want to have a cool staff.
You have no weapons right now.
Back off.
I will hold my action, and if the top one or any of the devils, or if the devil is trying to get out, he seems like he's locked in the locked link in.
Hard to tell.
All right, we weren't able to hear him.
Yeah.
He's just shouting profanities at us and we have no idea.
Yeah.
I will stay here and hold my action to cast. Sorry.
Sorry. Giovanni, you're coming up soon.
Yep.
Probably hypnotic pattern.
On.
This works really. This works really badly against me. I guess on the chain, try and get the chain devil in there without hitting the others.
Okay, and what's your trigger?
If he gets out.
Okay. On his turn, he will, using the key, he's going to use an action to unlock the gate and leave.
Before
And he
he
moves out to there, as far as he gets, and then you can trigger your spell. So if you,
Wisdom save.
It's a wisdom save from both of them, isn't it? Okay, there's advantage. That's the chain devil. Chain devil fails, and the barb devil succeeds. So chain devil, as he kind of runs out, you cast the hypnotic pattern. You watch as the red eyes kind of almost turn purple, and it just kind of stops stupefied in place.
All right.
Giovanni, you
So how are the other?
Go on.
Sorry.
You are in the sphere of silence right now.
Yeah. How are the other slaves reacting? Are they panicking? Are they still
They are
doing their show?
cowering in the. They've moved away and just trying to. They're continuing their work, but in a far more fearful fashion than they were before.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna just try to sort of hide by Mira, I guess, and so just sort of, I guess
Cower.
take a dodge action just
Okay.
to make sure that I don't get hit.
You could probably totally hide behind me.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, but I'll take the dodge action, mechanically,
Okay.
by sort of doing that.
Oh, no. No, never mind. Making just checking, so that's fine. Okay, on the Barb Devil's turn, the first one is going to go ahead and make a full multi-attack against Yuzin.
Cool.
So he's going to make 2 claw attacks, followed by a tail, and they all miss as you just
Yep.
dodge and weave. The other one is going to he's going to make a check. Okay. Seeing you cast hypnotic pattern, Ranos, he's going to make he's going to make a charge towards you. And he's going to go ahead and make a full multi-attack against you as well. Oops. First one hits, and I'm guessing that's it, as you take 7 points of piercing damage. Barb Devils are not your greatest foe here.
I will spirit shield that.
Okay, use your reaction, and Ranos, you watch as these claws, you kind of close your eyes as you know they're about to pierce you, and as the piercing doesn't come. As you open, the claw is kind of like held in mid-air, just above your face, as you retract back. Does a 16 hit, by the way? Oh no, don't worry about it, so that's too many rolls. So you are fine. Rory is going to cast Spooky Hand of Doom at this guy. He has no weapons. He hits and deals 5 points of necrotic damage.
See if we can keep this contained. We can kind of use this as a room to fix everything.
Okay, Nero,
Well, the
your turn.
slaves don't run screaming.
Okay.
The slaves are locked in at the moment, I think.
Not all of them. All of them.
How big is this area right here? Let's see. Okay, I think that's big enough for that one. Let's see. Sorry, I should have had this prepared beforehand.
It's alright.
Yeah, that one. Okay, I'm gonna do a slow,
Okay, on the
and it's a 40-foot cube. So I'm
Okay.
gonna try to get all 3 of them in there.
I'll assume you can get them all then.
Yeah.
With some saving throws, isn't it?
Wisdom save, yeah.
Fail, and DC is...
I believe it's 18.
80.
Let me double check. No, it's the 17. Damn
17.
it!
So the one on the left
I'm using
fails.
my other character.
So I'm going to put a little snail on him. Are you also trying to affect the chain devil?
Sure, just in case he breaks out of the other one.
I'll give him a against the save as well with advantage. 22, he's fine.
Damn. Okay. So I got one.
Okay, but yeah, you did slow one. Zin,
Yeah.
you're up.
You post that
How's
so we have the specifics.
this demon in front of me looking like? Are his spikes still fully erect, or is he looking?
He looks
literally
fine.
now?
He looks like he's taken a few blows, but he looks pretty okay.
But he just slightly slowed down a bit.
I believe you're
I'm just gonna hit this one then.
Go for it. Make your attacks. It's only a 13 to hit now.
Oh,
First one
still
hits,
missing.
second one misses.
Reckless!
I always forget about it.
13 points of damage, not bad. Okay, Johanna, your turn. Ranos, you're next.
Stabby stab.
Okay, make your attack with Tinder Strike. That'll hit.
nice.
Okay,
So we're doing anything special on a crit?
with the crit, is there anything in okay, I still need to solve that. You make your attack as you kind of with Tinder Strike. You ram your dagger into the belly of the devil, and you just draw it up as it kind of gurgles and leaving a flaming scar across its stomach as it just begins to burn out and ashes on the ground.
I'm going to turn to the other two and go,
Celebratory pros.
I put him over there because he's the initiative counter.
and then I'm going to use my movement because I can. Just run to the other one down here and just stare at it.
Just stare at it.
He's currently staring at the hit mark.
Why?
I'm not hitting it, I'm just stabbing it. I'm just staring at it.
Oh, you said staring. Good.
Okay,
Yeah.
Ranos, you're up.
We'll stab him with my trusty old
The rapier.
rapier.
Okay.
Oh no, wait! I will use Scourge
Oof.
Oh,
with a poison.
that hits. Roll me some damage.
I didn't think he was gonna have this much fun today.
Wow. Con save.
Nice.
Succeeds to con save, so it takes half
But
damage,
that's only
I
the
believe.
poison, and it's still. Oh wait, sorry. I still need to hit.
Huh? The damage rolled, so you got a
Yeah,
5
yeah,
and
yeah,
17.
So, I'm sorry, I messed up. I thought I had to do hit first and then do the poison damage, but it's the whole thing combined. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
so it's
Yeah.
5 points of slashing damage and then 8 points of poison damage. Not bad. Okay, Chain Devil is asleep. Giovanni.
Since things are turning out in our favor, I'm gonna cast poison spray on this one.
Okay, that's another
Coming
con
up
save, I
this-
believe. Succeeds. Very constitutional, this one.
Nothing.
It's not a DC 12 though. It's a
That's fine.
DC 7.
I
The 12 damage.
but it
Or
still
12
succeeds.
poison damage. I don't know if these are resistant or anything.
It's a cantrip.
He rolls a
There,
27
it
on his
doesn't matter.
save, so he's
Oh yeah.
Cantrips don't deal any damage if they resist it.
yeah. Okay, so on the devil's turn, seeing what's going on, he's going to make a move for it towards this door with his full speed. Do that, and that's his turn.
Attacks of opportunity.
Those of you who want to make attacks of opportunity, which is Rory, and Rory is going to not do anything.
Try and punch him.
Rory's going to punch. 'Cause that's all he has. He doesn't have his
That
gloves
hit.
either, so he's only
Make
got...
a demon kebab with my good old rapier.
Rory misses horribly. The rapier, I can make your roll damage on your rapier. 3. Okay.
Pitiful.
You do
Strong.
a
What's
few
the
points of
one?
damage. You kind of trip him up a little bit, but he's running, but he's still going for it. Nero, you're up. Zin, you're up next.
Go for the runner! Oh yeah.
He yells quietly.
Shit. Should I try that again? I don't have anything that can really stop him. I can just slow him down.
Yeah, I'll need more hold person. Or
Yeah.
command.
It's not a humanoid.
I don't have a pack.
Because if it was,
Yeah.
I would have done that. Unless you want to rule it that way.
Let me read the spell.
It says humanoid.
Yeah, humanoid just means that they stand like
Bipedal.
humans.
Yeah.
They have 2 arms, 2 legs.
A
Humanoid.
face.
Humanoid is a broad term.
Yeah. Nira's humanoid, and they're not
kill
much.
him.
They're not
That people
that
can
much
run.
different to Nira.
Nah, humanoid unfortunately is a subclass. So these count as fiends. So you need hold.
Racist.
You need hold monster against these, I believe.
Dead foes can't run.
Let's have a look at the hold monster spell actually.
Katie.
Hold monster. Choose a creature.
If he gets away with
Yeah.
bone.
What have you got? Slow
The
him
only thing we
down.
got
You
that
can
do
try
a
and kill him.
crap ton of damage. Okay, I'll try to slow him again, but he really resisted that. But I'll try it again.
Okay, I'll roll it as the devil, not as Rory. 16. Fails.
Just fails. That just fails.
As he's running away, you watch as he starts like in midair, just slowing down. Is that you
But I
done?
have to at least drop out of Discord.
Okay,
Because I have to phone.
no problems. Okay, anything you want? Your turn's not for a little while. And you've got Johanna first.
I'll hack in the chat. Yeah.
Okay, is that you done, Nira?
Let's see how far I can get with this, actually. So we seem to be chasing him. I'm going to...
I'll put it like that.
I'll go ahead and Misty Step to there.
Misty step. You could just walk that way.
I could have.
So if you want to just walk it, I'll allow it.
Sure.
Zin, you're up.
I forget about all that.
Okay, so Zin is
Who
going
needs walking
to
when you have magic?
move to here,
Yeah.
and they're going to try and smack him.
Make your attacks.
Not reckless.
Okay. That hits. That hits. Roll me some damage. And again. Wow, 40 points of damage.
Jesus.
As you start to eviscerate this motherfucker.
He's still standing there, yeah?
He's still standing, but he is bleeding slowly.
Okay, I'm then going to move away and stand in front of the door and try and bar the door.
Okay, good to know.
He will get attack of opportunity.
He
No, he
won't
won't.
because he can't take
Can't take reactions because he's slow.
Oh, okay.
Johanna, you're up.
It's literally the only utility
I
spell.
don't think it makes any noise. I'm trying to sacred flame him.
I believe Sacred Flame has a verbal component. So you can't cast it inside your own sphere of silence.
Yeah, no. As in, it doesn't make it as a spell. It doesn't have a big sound effect.
Oh, no.
Yeah, cool. I can just walk out of it.
You can.
So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to
To make its dex save, it has disadvantage 4. As you deal 13 points of radiant damage, as this column of divine fire strikes down into the devil, and it very slowly howls. Ouch. Okay, it's Ranos' turn. Let's see if he's saying anything. He has reacted. We'll give him a moment.
Yeah.
Giovanni, you're on deck. Okay, okay.
You decide.
He does nothing.
Okay, Ranos is going to cast Magic Missile. He's going to use 3 charges. 34 plus 5. 18 points. Okay, That's his turn. This guy's not going to do anything because he's still asleep. Giovanni.
I'm not really gonna. I'm gonna try Spooky Hand of Doom on slowed guy.
Go for it. Make your attack. That hits. Roll me some damage.
6.
Okay. How do you want to do this?
Oh,
I just want to
Just bitch slap him.
just grab the back of his head and just push some of the barbs into his head. Yeah.
Okay, as the spooky hand of doom flies forth as the slowed creature is trying to run away. It kind of curls around the barbs and just pierces the creature with its own barbs as it just kind of bleeds out very slowly and then dissipates into ash.
interesting. We don't have any bodies to worry about.
There you go. You have the chain
great.
devil left within the hypnotic pattern. It has another, like, you have about 5 rounds, I think about 6 or 7 rounds until it drops off. So for that, I will consider you out of initiative.
Okay.
Can I just
Tie him up with his own chains. Yes.
No.
No, he has control of him.
Oh, take them off.
Let's try to find the key.
So I'm
How long
going
does
to
silence stay?
Silence can be
Should we
dropped
try to-
at a whim, but it will
Can we
stand
try to
safe
find
for up to
the
10
key
minutes.
he used to unlock the door? Unlock the cage.
Yeah, take the key.
I mean, he's still any interaction with this individual probably will wake him up.
It's just damaging him.
Maybe we should just all stand around him.
If you want to mob him
Beat
and
on him.
annihilate him, that's fine.
Let's just do that.
I mean, sure.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I'll take
So where I
a
am.
knife from the kitchen
Kitchen.
stuff.
Okay. So you all
We're
as a
basically
group
just going to gang beat this guy.
surround this poor hypnotized chain devil, and you just beat the shit out of him. All at once, just 6 blades pierce him at once in a strange star-shaped effect, and he just
I
wakes
don't
up and
actually have a
goes.
blade.
Use a tail. I don't know. You got claws. You got horns. Gore.
Oh, right.
As you annihilate this motherfucker, and he evaporates.
Although I did just apparently realize, as part of the sorcerer thing, you get a short bow.
Yeah. You may have a short as he dies,
Or
and the silence spell does drop, and you are left with a cowering group of slaves who've watched this all go on, but have not stopped doing what they're doing, and kind of very scaredly going back to their work.
Does he drop the key when he disappears?
As it happens, you do see a bundle of keys drops to the ground.
Snatch.
There's about 5 or
Right.
6 keys on it.
I pick up the keys and unlock all these cages. Just leave them all unlocked.
You can go through. It takes you a few minutes to go around and unlock them to find the right key that fits, but all the cages are unlocked.
And then I'm going to go, slaves, you've seen what we've done as slaves ourselves. Feel free to leave. And then I'm just going to drop the keys there and walk off.
As you do so, the slaves they look at you, confused
And
and
carry on.
fearful, and carry on what they're doing.
I'm gonna pick those back up and ask them, are there any more cages?
None of them speak to you,
None of them speak. Okay.
especially since you look like an Abishai. They do not react to you. They just kind of cower. As you approach and speak to them, they just recoil further into themselves and continue chopping them. I don't know, lava lizard up. So
Fair enough.
you're now left in this large slave pen's kitchen area with a few different doors heading in different directions. And that is where we're going to leave it for the rest of this week. Because it's 12 o'clock now.
Because I can do this. Right?
Can do locate object.
And we'll find out what happens next week.
And I'll tell you,
That's
you cast
serious.
locate object on this on the sphere, and give me a wisdom check, just straight wisdom.
Alright. Wisdom. I can't read. Guys. There we are. Much. Right.
Okay. where you are. Points down.
Straight down.
Down and to the right. Down at no. It kind of points. Imagine this is northeast, northeast, southwest. It kind of points down and northeast.
Okay.
Okay.
From the well, you could have to answer this because we can wait till next week. Well, from the brief look we had at the building, do we know roughly whereabouts in the building? Like, we're not in a corner or anything like that, are we?
You're in a corner.
Yeah. So do I know?
I don't have the rest. Unfortunately, if I go back to this my beautiful artistic piece of work here, that's the wrong map.
I was going to say.
Cardenac, not Maladomino. So you've entered the building about here.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we went north, we're going.
That way.
So up that way, yeah.
Yeah. As
Yeah.
it's not northeast southwest, but for the ideas of having the maps in these consistent
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
life easier.
Yeah. So we've got that way, or back the way we came.
You have many ways that you can go, but you now have access to the inner chambers of the estate, and you have killed people and left many witnesses. So, be interesting. And that's where we'll leave it. And as I said, we'll pick up in a week's time. Can I have a show of hands of who cannot make it next week? Okay. Everyone else okay?
I think I'm good. I
then.
can't see any reason. I can't think of any reason why I'm not.
Awesome. If anything changes, do let me know. But as of right now, we will be on course to start next week. As I mentioned right at the beginning. Unfortunately, that's when I kick into my new rotations. So I don't know what state I'm going to be in because on the Tuesday I finish work at like 6 a.m. Tuesday morning.
Oof.
After doing the four 12-hour shifts over the weekend. So
Wow.
I'm not sure what it's going to be like. I'm not sure how coherent I will be if I'm even awake. So I should have a better idea over the weekend, and I'll let you guys know.
Okay.
But I will do what I can to ensure that this carries on. I may just
I
need
have
someone
to say-
go DM something for me. Yeah.
I have to say, I'm so glad I don't do shift work anymore. I travel a lot for work, so I tend to leave early and get back late a lot, but it's not quite as bad as shift work.
No. As for the recording, I'll stop that there and I'll get this one uploaded. And so, bye.